Stay tuned for Nero Wolfe. Saturday night chimes on NBC mean a full hour of fun with Dennis Day and Judy Canova. Dennis always appears perplexed and bewildered. But one thing that doesn't perplex him is how to make a popular ballad come to life in his thrilling tenor voice. And there's music also on the Judy Canova Show, plus comedy in the mischievous Canova manner. That's Judy Canova and Dennis Day, tomorrow night over most NBC stations.
My boss is the smartest and the stubbornest, the fattest and the laziest, the cleverest and the craziest, the most extravagant detective in the world, Nero Wolfe.
It's the transcribed adventure of The Case of the Careworn Cuff, with that brilliant, eccentric private detective, orchid fancier, and gargantuan gourmet, Nero Wolfe, starring Sidney Greenstreet. The place is Nero Wolfe's office. At the moment, the world's greatest motionless detective is sitting in the chair which was built especially to support his 300 pounds. His eyes are closed, and he's making sounds through his nose.
Archie. Archie. Archie!
Yes, Mr. Wolfe, what is it?
The phone, if you please, Mr. Goodwin.
Well, it's on your desk, only 8 3/4 inches from your left elbow. All you have to do is lean forward.
Found it, Archie? What do you think I am, an athlete?
Hello. No, wrong number, mister. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Wolfe, if that old phone awakened you.
Wrong number, and I was not asleep. I was merely concentrating.
On what? We're out of work. There's nothing to concentrate on.
May have escaped your errant attention, Archie. But there are other subjects for thought besides murder.
Mm-hmm. Sure, blondes.
And blondes.
You're right at that. Brunettes.
Phooey.
That's not a nice thing to say about any girl, even if she does happen to be a brunette.
Archie.
Yes, sir?
Go away. You annoy me.
Suppose I did. It would get you beer for you.
Fritz.
Tonight happens to be Fritz's night off. However, you can always get your beer for yourself.
Don't be an idiot.
There are exactly 23 steps between here and the kitchen.
As you very well know, I abominate strenuous physical activity.
23 steps times 2 is 46. You could walk very slow.
Nonsense. Now that you mention it, I happen to be mildly thirsty, Archie. Would you...
Now that I mention it, you'd better let the beer go for tonight.
Why?
Our stock is running low.
You being careless?
I've been careful, because something else is also running low.
What?
Money?
Fiddlesticks, there's plenty in the bank.
Sure, but very little of it is yours. Mr. Wolfe, do you remember that batch of orchids you bought last week?
Course I do. Magnificent and very rare specimens.
I got a magnificent bill for him this morning, too.
It was large?
It was large.
Confound it, Archie. I shall have to do some work.
You turned down half a dozen cases in the last few weeks.
One of them may still require me.
Most of them hired other detectives. However, there is a Mr. Wenceslas who might still be in need.
His problem is what?
As I remember, he's being followed by midgets. He wanted you to do something about it. Not that he minded the midgets so much. It was the elephants they were riding.
The man needs a psychiatrist, not a detective. Anyone else?
I can check my files, but I don't think... Ha-ha! Saved by the bell.
Another cliche like that, and I shall...
Answer the phone yourself?
Assassinate. You see what it is.
Okay. Hello? Yes, Mr. Wolfe is in. Yes, he'll be in. He always is. What? But... That was a Mr. Charles Porter. He was in a hurry. He's on his way over right now. Should be here in 10 minutes.
Prospective client, I trust?
$1,000 worth of prospective client.
Splendid, Archie, my beer.
Okay, but, look, I'm not sure you're going to accept his offer.
Indeed? What does he want me to do for his paltry fee?
That's the point. If I heard him right, he wants you to do nothing.
The door, Archie.
Yes, sir. I hear it. Mr. Porter?
Naturally, I'm Charles Porter. Who else would I be?
It's a large field. Never mind. Come on in. I'm Archie Goodwin.
Where is Wolf?
Mr. Wolf is in here. Mr. Wolf, this is Mr. Porter.
Good evening.
Fat, aren't you?
It's moderately noticeable. Archie, a chair for Mr. Porter.
Don't bother. I'm too impatient to sit. When I have business to take care of, I take care of it quickly.
Very well.
Send him out of the room.
Mr. Goodwin, nonsense. He's my assistant. He remains.
I don't like it.
Archie, show Mr. Porter out.
Now, wait. There's no need to get temperamental. Perhaps I'm a little abrupt.
Rude.
I'm a worried man.
And impatient. You're wasting time, Mr. Porter.
I suppose I am. The reason I came to you... Young man, what are you doing with that notebook?
Getting ready to make marks in it.
But... Oh, never mind. Mr. Wolf, you have a client named Dorothy Spencer.
Have I?
There's no need to be coy about it. I happen to know.
Then you know.
I want you to drop her.
Drop her?
Refuse to handle her case. Close the books on her. You know what I mean.
Why should I?
The girl has no money. I have.
That doesn't answer my question.
Perhaps this will.
Appear to be a small package of dollar bills.
It happens to be $1,000.
Archie, will you?
I will. It is $1,000.
Thank you. Mr. Porter,
Yes?
you're paying me $1,000 in order that I refuse to act for Miss Spencer. Nothing more.
That's right.
What does she suspect you of?
I said nothing about... Well, that is... You must know that as well as I do.
Possibly, and nevertheless, what does she suspect you of?
Being a blackmailer.
Whereas your occupation really is?
I'm a musician. Pianist. I'm appearing nightly at the Windsor Hotel.
Archie, have you made out a receipt for Mr. Porter?
Yep.
Give it to him and show him to the door.
Okay. Mr. Porter?
Mr. Wolf, I want your assurance that the entire affair is definitely finished.
My association with Miss Spencer, you mean? You have my assurance that it is. You will forgive a classical illusion. The Cabo.
Thank you. Good night.
Mr. Wolf, I have a secret about Mr. Porter. He smells.
Some perfume or other. More important, his right coat cuff is more worn than his left cuff. And the Cabo happens to be a musical term meaning start again from the beginning.
Oh? Porter thought it meant finished.
Therefore, Mr. Porter is a liar. His ignorance of common musical term indicates that he's not a musician. The worn right coat cuff, that he is an office worker.
That's kind of leaping to a deduction. But even if Porter's a liar, Mr. Wolf, there is something else. He paid you $1,000 to drop a client named Dorothy Spencer. Mr. Wolf, you never had a client with that name. Well, that's that. Dorothy Spencer is not in. Anyway, she's not answering her phone. Mr. Wolf, I said...
I know what you said. Bah.
That a comment?
I'm worried. Mr. Porter may have assumed erroneously that Dorothy Spencer had employed or was intending to employ me. That does not explain why he lied about his occupation.
Maybe he didn't lie. After all, your deductions could be wrong.
Phooey.
Okay. Take care of that right now. I'm phoning her. Hello? Windsor Hotel? Get me the manager's office. Thanks. Could you tell me if a Charles Porter plays the piano at... Uh-huh. She sounds blonde. I see. Thanks a lot. What do you do after work? Oh, so long. She goes home and beats her husband.
About Porter, Archie.
Bad news. He does play the piano at the Windsor in the move room. So where does that leave your deductions?
Untouched, of course. Let me think. Yes, naturally.
Naturally what?
I came to the conclusion that Mr. Porter was an office worker. We have just discovered that Mr. Porter is not an office worker, therefore...
You were wrong.
I am never wrong. Therefore, the man who was here is not Charles Porter.
Mr. Wolf, do you think a man of your weight should climb out on a limb like that?
Fiddlesticks. Look up Porter in the phone book and call him.
Okay. Take a second. Archie, the phone company's best friend. Yep, here he is. What do I ask him?
There'll be no need to ask Mr. Porter anything. Just phone.
You're the boss. Yeah. I have to say something to the guy. Hello. I'd like to speak to Charles Porter. So would you. Who is... Oh, Stebbins, huh? Yeah, that's right, Archie. Oh. No, don't bother why I called. It's a coincidence. Goodbye. You know who that was?
No.
That was Sergeant Stebbins, Sergeant Pearlie Stebbins. I might add, as though you didn't know, that Stebbins happens to be a sergeant in homicide.
Indeed.
You expected this.
I still don't know what your conversation was about.
It was about Charles Porter, who maybe was a liar, but who isn't going to tell any more lies on account of he was just shot to death.
Well, if it ain't Archie Goodwin. Come in, Goodwin.
Thank you, Sergeant Stebbins.
I've been expecting you.
Oh, that's sweet of you to say that, Pearlie.
Why did you phone Porter?
His right coat cuff was more worn out than his left.
So for that, you had to kill him?
No, actually, I killed him because he didn't know his da capo. Hey.
Yeah, hey. He don't look good anymore, huh? Guys who stop bullets with their face never look good.
Pearlie, you've been robbed.
I did.
That corpse is not Porter.
Now, relax, Goodwin, relax. His fingerprints were on file and they check. His girlfriend says he's Porter. If he could get up and talk, he'd tell you he was Porter. And what makes you think he isn't?
Well, because when he visited us earlier tonight, he looked different. Not much, but... You said girlfriend?
Yes, I said girlfriend. She's in the next room mopping up. She kind of broke down when we brought her here.
You brought her here? Now, don't tell me what her name is.
Why shouldn't I? It's Spencer. Dorothy Spencer.
Ooh, that's what I was afraid of.
Sergeant, Oh.
Ignore him. He comes with the woodwork.
His name is Goodwin, Miss Spencer. Archie Goodwin. Find what you were looking for?
What I was looking...
Somebody's gone through this place like a minor league hurricane. You?
What business is it of
Of
yours?
mine? None, maybe. On the other hand, Nero Wolfe might have other ideas. Matter of fact, I'm sure he'd have. Miss Spencer, why don't you go see him? The address is 601 West 35th Street.
I don't see why.
You want your boyfriend's murderer found, don't you?
Now listen, Goodwin, the police are working on this.
Sure, they'll see to it nobody harms a corpse. Goodbye, Miss Spencer. Don't forget that address, 601 West 35th Street. Believe it or not, you used to be a client of ours. Oh, Mr. Wolfe, you're getting to be so brilliant, it's boring.
Phooey. That is,
All right, tonight you deserve it. I'll get you another can of beer. But this is the last one. What's your promise to do some exercise, like maybe standing up and sitting down 5 minutes a day?
Thank you. And why should I indulge in such idiotic behavior?
Well, after a while, you might be able to see your shoes.
I've already seen them.
Oh, that was 20 years ago. Things have changed. No more buttons. Hey, that must be Dorothy Spencer.
She's undoubtedly young and beautiful.
You deduced that from the way she pressed the buzzer?
I deduced that from the gleam in your eye, bah.
Bah, all you want. I'm going to keep that gleam shining. Hello, Miss Spencer. Come in.
Thank you. Mr. Wolfe.
Is the large sitting-down gentleman behind the desk. This is Dorothy Spencer, Mr. Wolfe.
You will forgive me not rising. It is due to a necessary conservation of energy rather than rudeness. Archie, a chair.
Sure. Here you are, Miss Spencer.
Thanks.
Now then, Miss Spencer, have the police found anything but dust in Mr. Porter's closet?
Why, no.
You were engaged to Mr. Porter?
I was?
That ring you're wearing he gave it you?
Yes.
May I see it?
Well, all right. Here.
Thank you. Expensive. Very expensive. You may have it back. Miss Spencer, why are you marrying Charles Porter?
I loved him.
Phooey. Mr. Porter, according to Archie's description, was twice your age with considerably less than half your attractiveness. Love may perhaps be blind, but it is not astigmatic.
I don't know what you mean.
What were you searching for under the nose of the police?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
How did your fiancé earn his money?
He played the piano at the...
Ooh, what he earned there in a year wouldn't begin to pay for the ring he gave you. Would you like to try again?
I don't know how he made his money.
I suggest that you do. I suggest that he earned money by the same method that he induced you to consider marrying him. Blackmail.
Oh, but
Why was he blackmailing you?
old letters I'd written when I was too young to know any better.
Your motives for murdering Porter would be twofold, then. Recovery of blackmail material and the avoidance of marriage to a man you dislike.
I didn't kill Charles.
No doorbell, Archie. Get Miss Spencer into the kitchen. Once. Must be the police.
Yeah, let's go, Miss Spencer. Right through that door.
And stay there until I call you. Front door, Archie.
Mr. Wolf, do I know Dorothy Spencer's here?
You know nothing. A simple role for you to play.
I haven't got time to resent that insult right now, but wait until the next time you drop a collar button. Well, bless my soul, if it isn't dear old Inspector Kramer. How is the homicide department?
Where's Wolf?
Big surprise. He's sitting.
Mr. Wolf?
Good evening, Inspector.
Where's Dorothy Spencer?
This is not the Bureau of Missing Persons.
The district attorney would like to talk to her.
I shall tell her so the next time we meet.
Yeah, that could be right now. She's in this house.
I don't see her.
Mind if I look around for myself?
You have a search warrant, of course.
It so happens no, but...
Archie, the inspector's leaving.
Okay, I'm leaving. I suppose by the time I get back with a warrant, she'll be in Hoboken.
Hoboken? Where's that?
Look, Wolf, you can go too far. One of these days, you won't be able to talk yourself out of it. Trail me to the door, Goodwin, to show what a good detective you are.
Ooh, Inspector Kramer doesn't love us anymore.
Unfortunate. Archie, take Miss Spencer to a respectable hotel. Register her under an assumed name. She is to stay there until notified otherwise. Luckily, the good inspector neglected to inform us that she was the leading suspect in a murder case. Hence, we are not accessories after the fact, and I don't want her arrested for murder as yet.
Her beauty has won you over.
You will then return here immediately.
Okay. What are you going to be doing in the meanwhile?
I, Archie, shall be thinking. Archie?
No. No, not Archie.
Our impatient and non-musical friend came in through the window. How are you, Mr. Not Porter, of course.
Where's the girl?
Question is beginning to bore me. I don't know.
I think she's here.
So did the police. I might add that they were slightly closer to the truth. Incidentally, what makes you think she was Porter's accomplice?
She must have been.
Nonsense, she wasn't. Porter was blackmailing her, just as he was blackmailing you. In her case, it was letters. In yours, a previous criminal record, perhaps, that your employers might be interested in.
I want to know where she is. Maybe this would help you remember.
Good heavens, don't point a pistol at me. It annoys me. The police, I should think, opened the door for them like a good fellow.
Oh, no. I'm leaving. But if I don't find that girl, I'll be back.
Knock the blasted thing down if it isn't open.
All right, Wolf. I've got the search warrant.
Also, no doubt, a fine tooth comb. Bah. By the way, Inspector.
All right, boys, cover the house.
All right, Inspector.
Yeah, what did you want?
As your men go through the house, will you have one of them shut the back window? I've just had a burglar, and I suspect he left it open. Unless the matter is attended to, the house might be filled with fresh air.
Yeah, what's the matter with that?
Fresh air, deadly poison. It clogs the lungs. And may I point out that the warrant you're clutching in your hot little hand is not a lease on the house. Finish your search quickly, if you please, and then, why not try Hoboken?
So I just missed the inspector, huh?
You did?
That I can stand. I'm sorry about the burglar, though.
Perhaps we can arrange to have you meet him in the morning.
He left his calling card with name and address on it?
He dropped his handkerchief here on my desk.
Oh. It's a handkerchief.
It smells.
So it does. But,
All of our unknown friends' clothes carry the odor. Therefore...
Yeah?
You will go out immediately to the nearest drugstore, buy a specimen of every cake of soap manufactured in this country.
Mr. Wolf?
Be still. No.
I never realized just how many different brands of soap are made in this country.
You should listen to the radio more often.
So far, we've sniffed at 37 cakes. None of them smell like porter. Let's see. 38. Hey.
Let me have it, Archie. Yes, the soap. It's labeled Orchid Ovals. I should say basically mislabeled. Orchids have no odor. Our task for the evening is finished.
Why? All we know is the guy washes with a basely mislabeled soap.
No, the odor would not have been so persistent in that case. Unquestionably, our visitor works for a soap company that makes orchid ovals. Every employee of a plant in which perfume in large quantities is used inevitably carries the odor on his clothes.
Oh. And you already deduced he works in an office. Uh-huh. I go see him in the morning?
You do?
You know, Mr. Wolfuck, with hiring rooms for girls and paying visits to a perfume factory, I'm beginning to feel like a maiden aunt.
No one would ever mistake you for a maiden aunt, Archie.
Thanks. Is that another deduction?
Maiden aunts rarely need a shave.
Orchid Ovals, good morning. One moment, please. Oh, can I do anything for you, sir?
Yeah. That is, let's postpone that question and slip in another one. I'm looking for one of your office people. In his 40s, 5'10", brown hair and eyes, speaks in a sharp, quick voice.
He owes you money, too.
Who owes me money?
Mr. Wheeler, the man you were describing. He owes everybody money, in spite of the fact that he's office manager and makes lots and lots of money. How much does he owe you?
Oh, not an awful lot. It won't break me if I don't get it. Is he in yet?
Well, he was, but he went home. He was sort of sick.
Sort of?
He got a phone call from somebody and rushed out.
Too bad. Well, I better scram.
Well, you didn't answer my question yet. I'm off at 5. My name's Gwen.
Goodbye.
Wolf speaking.
Archie here. Unknown's name is Wheeler. He left the office this morning sick after he got a mysterious phone call.
Bad, probably. Get to Dorothy Spencer at once and bring her here.
Right. I'm at Wheeler's house now. Thought I'd better check. His wife's here, too.
Blonde?
Uh-huh. How could you tell?
Fatuous smirk in your voice. Get out of there fast, and don't stop to console Mrs. Wheeler.
Room 909. Miss Dorothy Spencer. Nobody home.
Shut that door behind you, Goodwin.
What? Never mind pulling triggers. I'll shut it.
Oh, Archie.
I would prefer silence. Keep your hands high, Goodwin.
It's unhealthy. All the blood had run into my head.
Archie, he murdered Charles.
He did. Tut, Mr. Wheeler. You really shouldn't have. It's against the law.
Get into the bathroom, both of you.
I already shaved.
I phoned him. I thought maybe he had my letters.
Porter couldn't keep his mouth shut about his other
He
victims.
was going to force Dorothy to marry him. Did you find his material, Wheeler?
Yes, in an office. He read it as a front. It's all burned.
And why all the melodrama?
You know about me, so does she. I can't trust anyone. Get into the bathroom, I said.
Look, let's not lose our heads about this.
Get moving, Goodwin.
I like it here.
All right, then. Here is where you'll get it.
Hey, wait a minute. Something's wrong. I got shot and Wheeler fell down.
I shot him, Goodwin.
Stebbins. Dear Sergeant Stebbins. Oh, you little flat-footed angel.
It's lucky for you my flat feet got staked out here in time.
Just for that, I'll buy you a pair of arch supports for your next birthday. But I'm beginning not to believe this. You had it all figured out?
Well, not exactly. Well, that is...
Wolf sent you here.
Well, he kind of phoned in and suggested one of us shoot down here and do some rescue work.
That old devil.
Hey, you're not kidding.
What are you laughing about?
Wolf wasn't sure whether you'd need rescuing from Wheeler or...
Stop killing yourself with your own jokes.
or whether Miss Spencer would need rescuing from you.
You've been a very foolish young woman, Miss Spencer. I suggest that in the future you exercise more care in your correspondence.
Oh, I shall, Mr. Wolf, but how can I ever thank you?
Well, one way would be to listen wide-eyed while he explains how he solved the case.
I have no intention
Oh, come on, Mr. Wolf. Stop stalling.
Please, Mr. Wolf.
Well, I'd be very happy to. As a matter of fact, I'd like to see anyone try to stop me. A man came to me, offered me $1,000 to drop a client I didn't have. Why? Because obviously he wished to direct my attention to that client.
Me.
You, Miss Spencer. Now then, he identified himself as Charles Porter, a musician. But I tested him and discovered that he knew nothing of music.
Ha! The Da Capo routine.
Precisely. Therefore, he was an imposter. His purpose?
Yeah?
To indicate by no means subtly that enmity existed between Porter and Dorothy Spencer.
Huh?
Thus, when Porter was found murdered, I would presumably be convinced that Dorothy Spencer, balked in her effort to enlist my aid against Porter, had resorted to most foul and bloody murder.
Most foul and bloody murder is very fancy, Dorothy. Shows he likes you.
I thereupon asked myself, why should an unknown seek to convince me that Dorothy Spencer was Porter's murderer?
And you answered yourself?
One reason only, because he himself intended to murder Porter, as he did. For which peccadillo he has, thanks to Sergeant Stebbins' accuracy with a revolver, already paid with his own life. Quodirat demonstrandum.
Latin for that's what you wanted to know.
I think you're wonderful, Mr. Wolf, and I'm going to
Be careful.
kiss you.
Archie, Miss Spencer is a very dangerous young woman.
Today I feel brave.
Do you, Archie?
Very brave. What are you doing tonight?
Nothing.
Let's do it together.
Bah.
Oh, is that Mr. Wolf?
I said bah. Would you very much mind conducting your romance elsewhere?
I would not.
And do so at once. I have a very important matter to attend to.
Goodbye, Mr. Wolf.
Goodbye.
Night, sir.
Very important. Very important.
You have been listening to The New Adventures of Nero Wolfe, starring Sidney Greenstreet. Tonight's transcribed story was based on the characters created by Rex Stout, produced and directed by J. Donald Wilson. In the cast were Lamont Johnson as Archie Goodwin, and Jane Webb, Peter Leeds, Bill Johnstone, and Wilms Herbert. Next week at this same time, Nero Wolfe and Archie will bring you The Case of the Dear Dead Lady. Don Stanley speaking. Three chimes mean good times on NBC. The NBC chimes are excited about the big show, an hour and a half every Sunday night with Tallulah Bankhead as Femme C. Comedy with stars like Jimmy Durante, Fred Allen, Jack Carson, Groucho Marx, and a host of others. Music with Meredith Wilson, Mindy Carson, and many more. It presents drama with Mr. Jose Ferrer and many more leading stars of Broadway and Hollywood. It's The Big Show. Starts Sunday, November 5th on NBC.
This is Chester William Bendix Riley. The Man Called X follows on NBC.
Doobie-doo, doobie-doo. Scoo-wop doobie. Doobity-scoop doobie-doo. Shoobity-boobie. Shooby-wobby-doobie. Scoop-pop-a-woobie. It's just about that time, people. Just about that time. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's do this, huh? Yeah. Well, good morning, weirdos. I guess you know once that bugle chimes do-wackadoo, it's time for this wackadoo to hang out. Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's just me again. I don't know if anybody's there this morning, but it doesn't really matter anyway, because I'm here. And, hey, I don't even get paid for this. That's totally awesome. Totally awesome. Alright, I'm drinking coffee, doing bong hits, talking shit. Who wants to talk some shit with me? Hey, wanna talk some shit? I'm gonna talk some shit. What are they, man? Let's talk some shit, man. Did you wanna talk some shit? What are they? Come on, man, let's talk shit, man. Let's talk some shit, man. Orderly, man. Hey, man, what's going on? Hey, man, did you hear what's going on? No, man, I ain't heard what's going on. I'm telling you, man, what's going on. This is what's going on, man. Listen up, man, I'm gonna tell you. All right, man, but I don't know if I could listen, man. Hey, man, why don't you just listen, okay? You ain't gotta do nothing but listen, man. Oh, far out, man. That's cool. I think I'll just listen. Okay, man, what I'm trying to tell you... Oh, man, now I forgot what I was trying to tell you, man. God dang it, man. You piss me off sometimes, man. You fucking stoner. Hey, wow, man. Is that what you wanted to tell me? Oh, jeez. Hey, this is good stuff, man. Is anybody here for this? Early cheat, man. He far out, man. Dave's not home. Hey, man, I'm not talking about Dave. Hey, what are you talking about, man? Hey, man. Is that you, man? Hey, wow, man. That's me, man. Hey, shut up, man. I just said shut up, man. Well, you gotta be talking all the time, man. Shut up. Orale. Just having a conversation with me, myself, and I. You know, because it's totally cool. I can do that. Especially when I'm in the headphones here, because when I'm in the headphones, I really get a good sound going, man. Hey, man, you want to jam, man? No, man, I don't want to jam. Why not, man? What's wrong, dude? Hey, man, you crazy. Hey, far out, I can dig it, man. What are you talking about, Holmes? Orale. Hey, man, what does orale mean, man? Hey, man, it means like... Fucking... It just means orale, Holmes. Jeez. Oh, you gotta ask those stupid questions, man. Hey, man, I got some Quaaludes, man. No, Chip, man. Let me have one of them Quaaludes, man. Oh, man, that's a fucking aspirin, Holmes. Orale. Oh. Da. Le. Alright, so check it out. Last night, I got to sleep a little early. I got about 5 hours sleep. I was up dealing with videos again. I got a shitload more videos to do. I got 18 that day. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, another one here. 17 videos made yesterday. Well, my second run got 17 videos made. 18, 19. I have yet to complete my mission of uploading every old-time radio show that I've ever enjoyed. In their entire series, right? That's fucking cool. Hey, man, why do you keep talking like that? I don't know, man. I'm just a little stoned, man. Why don't you just lay off the weed, Holmes? You got some more coffee, man? Hey, shut up, man. Orale. Hey, man, what does orale mean, man? It fucking means orale, Holmes. Shut the hell up. Shut the fuck up, Holmes. Well, if somebody shows up, then I won't be talking to myself, and myself won't be talking to the other 25 people that are woke up in my head this morning. He's freaking out again, Marge. Leave him alone, Harry. He's a nut. You're telling me. Hey, wow, man. Why you gotta do that, man? I don't know, man. I'm just a little fucking stoned. Hey, would you guys knock that shit off, man? I'm trying to fucking concentrate here. Alright. I think I need another bong hit. Hey, good morning, Joey. What's going on? Hey, dude, what's going on? Oh, hey, wow, man. Yo, bro, what's up? Arr. 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 I come from a different part of the land. I come from the water part of the land. Arr. Yeah, you landlubber. Arr. Totally. You know what? Maybe it's because I'm listening and watching so much weird shit, right? Maybe that's all in my head, and I just can't get it out, you know. Just can't get it out, man. It just keeps going. Yeah, this. I don't know what it is, man. It's like an imagination monster, and it just keeps sucking on my brain, right? But it's like a two-way street, man. It's sucking on my brain, and then it's feeding its imagination poison back into me, man. Hey, man, did you take that acid? Nah, man, I didn't take no acid. I just took that tab of LSD, man. Oh, shit, man. Dude, you're gonna be so fucking high. Hey, Marge, call a DEA. These guys are doing dope. Leave them alone, Harry. They're having fun. You should try it sometime. You crazy broad. I told you about calling me crazy. Let's do the pirate ABCs, okay? A, B, C, R. That's it. It's as much as I can do, bro. Hey, man, you want to buy some Quaaludes, man? Hey, man, I thought those Quaaludes for us, man, for later so we could party with the girl. Hey, man, you ain't got no girlfriend, man. Hey, bro, can I have one of them ludes? Bro, I'm thinking about it, Holmes. You got some cash, man? Give me some cash. I'll give you one of these ludes, man. Hey, man, that's like an aspirin, dude. Hey, man, that's some heavy fucking aspirin. Oh, man, you guys are fucking crazy, Holmes. Fucking crazy, man. That's what I need. I'm missing some Cheech and Chong. I need some more Cheech and Chong in my life. Right? I'm gonna have to put some on, man. Not right now, of course, because it's copyright infringement and all that. But I got a couple of LPs, man. I'm gonna have to crank on some, yeah, man. I'm gonna have to dig them out now so I don't forget, alright? So the noise you hear is gonna be me digging through records, man. Alright? Here I go. I'm getting out. Oh, my Richard Marx shirt, right? See? Totally cool. Totally cool. Órale, órale, órale. Órale, órale. Check it out, man. That's fucking fantastic, man. Okay, pulling it out, man. I got it, man. I got the chit, man. I got the chit. Órale, I got the chit, man. Okay. So, órale. Oh, fuck, man. I got like this chit, man. I got this chit, man. Alright, so these are some of my favorite comedy records from the 1970s, man. Alright, this is one of my all-time favorites. This is Saturday Night Live. Alright, this one here, let me get the level amp cam. This is Saturday Night Live. This is an original cast, original soundtrack recording from the show. All right. And let's see. This is pre-Bill Murray, so there's no Bill Murray here. And this is the first season of the Not Ready for Primetime Players. And on this LP is all of the classic first season skits from the show. You can see Gilda Radner down here by my thumb, and Lorraine Newman, Jane Curtin up in the middle, Garrett Morris, and Chevy Chase, and then of course on the top Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. Fantastic show. I will try to find this on YouTube and share a link. All right, sausage link. Guy's talking about food again, Marge. Harry, are you hungry? I'm on a diet. What are you, crazy? Stop teasing me. All right, so here's Big Bamboo. All right, and this is a great one. This one actually, when you bought it new, it opens up and it came with a rolling paper, a big giant 1 ounce rolling paper, so you could make one of those big. One of them big dog shit, man. It's one of them big dog shit joints, man. All right. So I sent one of these to my brother, and I sent him one with an actual paper in it. I don't know if he's used it. I doubt it. But I can actually get a pack of those big papers, and I think I'm going to do that. What are they, man? Stop talking shit, Holmes. Let's see. That's one of my favorite, the Big Bamboo. This is the first. This is the original Cheech and Chong, their first LP. Probably produced by Lou Adler. Yep, produced by Lou Adler, the guy who raped them for what do you call it? Up in Smoke, right? The story that I heard was that Lou Adler set it up so that he would benefit the most from Cheech and Chong's movie Up in Smoke. It was all of their material, all of their stuff. He produced it. Lou Adler produced it, and then I think he directed it, right? And he just set himself up to benefit so that the guys got pretty much nothing from the royalties of the movie. And they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know about movies. But after that, they both took the helm and decided to run the show themselves. And when they came back with Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams, Tommy Chong was in the director chair, right? And it's a fantastic fucking movie. And they did a whole slew of movies in the 80s, the two of them. And then they split off and started doing their own thing. Here's one called The Wedding Album. And the weird thing about this is they're Siamese twins, right? And they both marry the same girl. And of course the girl has a bag over her face, so we don't know who she is. And then there's an old joke, put a bag over her face, man. You could imagine she's anyone, man. That's a great one. This one here is Los Cochinos. This is one of my very favorites. I believe this is one with Sister Mary Elephant on it as well. There's a couple of those. It's neat because the car pulls out. Yeah, Basketball Jones, Up His Nose, Peter Reuter, Pedro and the Man, The Drive-In, The Strawberry Festival, Don't Bug Me, Evelyn Woodhead Speed Reading. You remember Evelyn Wood Speed Reading? That was something here. That was heavy. Okay, so this is not one with the Sister Mary Elephant. That is on a different one. But this is just a fantastic. It's fantastic. It's just fucking great, man. It's great. It's a great thing, man. Here we go. Where are we? There we are. There we go. A couple of old, dressed up as a couple of old brides. That's a great one there. And then this one here I actually bought with a VHS that comes with it. And this is one of the last things that they did together in the 80s. And this one here is Get Out of My Room. And it comes with an actual VHS cassette that I have that has the music videos to this thing here. And on this, it's got Born in East LA. This is right about the time that they were starting to diverge and go off. This is 1985. And they did a bunch of movies, but they also started doing other stuff. Which, when it's a band, and a band splits up, you think, oh man, that's a bummer, we're not going to get that music anymore. But when the Beatles split up, to me it was a positive thing, because now we had like 4 Beatle bands, right? We had that core Beatle music is now split in 4 directions, and now instead of getting 1 Beatle record every year or 2, we're getting 4 Beatle records every year or 2, right? For the longest time. So I thought it was pretty cool when they split up. I just figured that at some point they would have done a reunion, right? So like 10 years after, they would have gotten together and done like a concert in Central Park, like Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel did. They did their little reunion. They didn't like it much, but they did it, right? Why? Because the fans wanted it. Yeah, it was Saturday Night Live, in fact. They told the Beatles that if they got together for a one-night reunion on their show and did like a couple of songs, they would pay them $1 million, right? 4 Beatles. That's $250,000 each for a couple of hours' work. And they said no. Wow. Wow. Whoa! I gotta warm up this coffee. It's starting to taste like cold spit. Well, last night's show was fun. Once again, it went by quick. It's starting to be really easy to do that night show. And I think I'm working my schedule out a little better. I'm forcing myself to get done here at the computer at 8 o'clock. Computer is the console here at 8 o'clock, which, if I shoot for 8 o'clock, I'm usually completely finished here and turned off and shut down before 9, which is a good thing. I'll go in and tell my daughter, all right, I'm getting ready to shut everything down and go lay down, and then like almost an hour later she comes out and I'm just putting everything away. And that's the way it works, Last night I saved so many movies. I uploaded a couple old-time radio stuff. Created a whole bunch of old-time radio content, decided how I'm going to program it on my channel. I've got 8 o'clock in the morning after the show here. Every weekday premieres an X-1 episode, and then Dimension X will take that place when that's over and on to other science fiction shows. And then every weekday there will be another old-time radio show uploaded or premiered at noon. So every day during the week will have its own show. I haven't decided Monday yet. Dragnet is on Tuesdays because TV Tuesdays and Dragnet, old-time radio show, but the TV show spawned from the radio. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do Dragnet on. Now, Nero Wolf is on Wednesdays at noon because noontime Nero to me just sounds perfect, which gave me the idea for doing the noontime old-time radio shows. And then I think Thursdays is Gildersleeve. Fridays is... What am I doing on friggin' Fridays? I'm doing something on Fridays. Fried eggs. Fridays is going to be Night Beat. Night Beat is another. I love Night Beat. The Shadow on Mondays. That's what it is. So I've pretty much got it figured out. And then at 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock p.m., there's going to be either a movie or a TV show premiering. So every 4 hours throughout the day, something is going to happen. I start my pre-show here in the morning at like 4:20. I go live at 5. I'm off here at 8, and an X-Files or an X-1 premieres. And then at noon, another radio show premieres. And then at 4, some kind of movie or TV show. And then at 8, and then at 5, I do my show. And then at 6, I'm off my show. And then at 8, something else premieres. So I'm trying to fill the day so that no matter when you check in during normal business hours, there should be something going on, something new to watch, something already premiering that you can watch, something just about to premiere, something live, something, old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, whatever. You know what I mean? So it should be a challenge to fill in all these time slots, but I've already created enough content that all I have to do is upload a couple of more shows, and next week is done. This week is already uploaded. Next week, I've got 3 episodes to upload, and next week's programming is done. And then the following month, we'll go into the programming schedule in earnest, and it's going to be regular pre-show at 4:20, live at 5, 8 a.m., noon, 4 p.m., go pre-show at 4:20 again, live at 5, off at 6, something else uploads, premieres at 8, and that's it. And then if I so desire, I'll pop in a midnight premiere every once in a while. And also what I've decided to do is keep this programming, but when I'm not here, rather than try to fill in the nighttime with just more content, I'm just going to create a nighttime show and drop that in the spot. So there'll be something to listen to while I'm not here. It'll just premiere on the time slot at 5 p.m. and it'll be an hour-long nighttime nonsense and nostalgia show. And while I would like to premiere it live from here so that it goes up to a live playlist, I'll just save it over to the live playlist as a fill-in for that show, or save it over to that show file, the nighttime nonsense and nostalgia file. Have I created one of those yet? I'll have to check. Do I have a nighttime nonsense and nostalgia playlist yet? I don't recall. I'll have to check it out. But I'm really, really, really trying to keep busy. Really, really, really. It seems that I'm all the better for it. Psychologically, especially. Physically, I'm fucked, and I know it. Which is why when I don't have to go out and do stuff, I don't leave the house. I used to not leave the house and then just lay around and just wallow in misery, right? And now I don't leave the house, but I stay as productive, if probably more productive just sitting here at home than I've ever been. And then more productive than I am when I go out. So, yay. Yay. I love it. So once again, a week from Friday, I will not be here. I will have no less than 4 shows. No less than 4 shows going, premiering on that day. The days leading up to that, I'm doing 2 and 3 videos premiering each day. Up until Friday. Friday, I'm getting 4, 5, 6 videos, trying to fill that day, so that I won't be missed so much. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put in the morning. I think I'm going to do one of those weird movie things in Premiere. I might grab Night of the Living Dead and upload it for y'all and drop it here so that you can watch that while I'm gone. Watch that in the morning on Friday. That's a great fucking movie. I can watch that one over and over and over again. In fact, I did when we were young. All right, going in. So I've got some thoughts for some new graphics. Morning graphics. I'd like to take this morning graphic here. Let me grab one for you here. So my daughter created this. And I said, you know what? I need something like this. Could you make me something like this? So she created something like this, right? And she did this in black and white, just a line drawing. And then I took it, threw it into my program, and colored it. So that, in fact, I colored nine different versions as the colors roll outward from the center, so that when I put them together and animate it, you get the opening sequence to my show. And then we roll into the actual opening. So what I want to do with this is take it and make it full screen and expand those clouds out, and then the edge of the clouds should bump up against the edge of the screen, and then the background should kind of make this cloud stand out, right? So my idea is to take this, shrink it down onto a 16:9 page, and then extend outward and create a bubble from it, a cloud bubble, right? And then I'll turn that into a PNG so it hangs there wherever I put it. I can shrink it down real small and hang it in the corner as a little cloud. And I think that would be really cool if I could have my own little logos attached to my different videos, right? So the morning stuff would have this, the evening stuff would have its thing. So my idea is taking that and creating that cloud, and then also creating one where it's the same cloud, but in the center is more of a rectangle, a 16:9 rectangle, so that I can create text within the bubble, right? And create a preview in that bubble, you know, and all of a sudden, boom, each bubble changes, right? Day specific, and this bubble is Tuesday, and this is what's happening on Tuesday, and then this bubble changes colors, and it's Wednesday, and this is what's happening on Wednesday. And I think that would really enhance the graphics. I want to keep things changing and keep it evolving. I noticed that when you go to like some of my favorite channels, like the History Guy and the Y-Files, that their graphics and their opening and their theme and everything, it all pretty much stays the same for several seasons with the History Guy, and it changes every season or two with the Y-Files. But my stuff seems to be changing per season, and my seasons are only like 30 to 60 episodes per season, right? So my stuff is changing on a much faster pace, right? Mainly because I've got so much time to invest in doing this shit, you know? If I was out working more, then I would probably just be investing more money into it, and then get the time, and then invest the time, which is pretty much how this worked, you know? I had the money, I invested a little bit of money, and now I've got nothing but time. And the time is not my own. I mean, the time pretty much is decided on this calendar, this schedule now. I don't get much time to sit around and be depressed. I don't get much time to sit around and just watch TV and lay in bed and go, oh, poor me. which is great. I'm exhausted all the time, which is great, because then again, I don't have time to, concern myself with mental crap, because it's just not there, because I don't give it a place to take root and evolve, right? Being busy and awake all the time and tired, I have no room for it. I got no time. I haven't got time for the pain. Well, the pain's always there. I just don't want to fucking deal with it. So I just take a couple of hits and then just push past it. Try to separate myself from the pain. The pot doesn't kill the pain. The pot doesn't even do anything to the brain anymore, other than keep me from, freaking out, or, keep me from being ultra depressed. I start thinking about, oh man, why don't I just crawl back into that hole again? And it's like, no, I'll drink some coffee, take a couple of bong hits, and throw myself into this. And this is where it's at for me. My sister last night gave me one of the best compliments that I can't remember exactly, but I'll paraphrase, something to the effect that, the old man, our father, did this, and he was really good at it, and I seem to have found my niche in life with this, and she said I do it really, really well. And I appreciate that, because this is a lot of fun. I mean, it's a whole lot of fun, which is why I guess I feel like I'm so good at it. It's because it's so much fun, I don't get paid for this. I spend no less than 5 days a week, pretty much most of the day, doing this stuff. Seriously, people. I mean, it's a lot of time. My wife and daughter used to see me sitting in front of the TV, lying in bed, trying to accomplish things, only just being so frustrated by the pain and anxiety and everything that I'd get halfway through a project and just run screaming, right? And now, while I don't do a whole lot of other projects, when I do, I feel like totally relaxed doing them. I feel like I can think my way through without freaking out. Problems happen and I don't freak out, which is really cool. What I'll do is I'll set stuff up in here to save or process, and I'll be like, all right, I got 30 minutes or an hour. What am I going to do? Normally, I would just put on TV or pick up the guitar or just sit in here and just go. And now it's like, okay, well, I've got this time. Let's go out and let's work on the swamp cooler. Let's work on this. Let's fix this. Let's make this happen. So I'm starting to try to use my time more wisely, and try not to let myself fall victim to those depressive thoughts, right? Those woe is me feelings. If I were a dog, I'd be a melancholy. Yeah. So here's something, all right. I'm going to start asking people, I'm going to start putting in my description, all right, who can tell me by this last season, what shirt did I wear twice? I'll say, what shirts have I worn twice this last season? We're on episode 38. Is that where we are? Yeah, we're on episode 38. So, out of 38 episodes this season, what shirt or shirts have I worn before? And if you can let me know what episode and what shirts, what episodes and what shirt. One shirt, 2 episodes, right? Then you want a booby prize. You want a booby? No, really. That'd be neat if somebody could tell me that. But of course, you'd have to be one of those people that's like, oh man, that was like episode 6 and episode 14, I think, Yeah, I don't think we have any old crazy old weird bearded guy nerds out there. But if there are, now I know because I write it down. I write down what shirts I wear, right? So that I know if I've done a double. But I don't always know what episode I doubled up on. What episodes I doubled up one shirt, right? I don't wear the same shirt in the morning that I do in the evening. I don't wear the same shirt in the evening that I do in the morning. I just don't. I change my shirts. Mainly because I'll take a nap and I'll get up and my morning shirt will just be covered in hair. Because them damn dogs. But yeah, shirts are a big thing in my life, in my house, with my daughter. She's big into shirts too. We share a lot of the same hobbies, likes. Our collections are very similar. I have a collection of records. She has a collection of records. She is about 2 cubes. These cubes, these 13 by 13 cubes that come 4 cubes in a console, 6 cubes, 8 cubes. Joey knows what I'm talking about. He's got what I think an 8 or 12 cube, and they're really he's got a 12 cube. My daughter has 2 cubes filled already with LPs, right? She's like, what am I going to do? I got all the other stuff that's in one of these cubes, and I've had to squeeze a couple over here and a couple. And I said, well, let's just move your stuff around and find places for things. What I really like is to have wall space, to have one of those wall displays where you can stick up your records and put a plastic thing over it, right? And then all of your records are now displayed on the wall. And then the records that I would put up there are the records that we've either been to the concert and or it has a signature on it, right? Because we're starting to get between her and I, we're starting to get a decent little collection of records with autographs, right? So that's exciting, and I want to play around with that. How do I display those? I've got a little record thing over here, so I'm thinking about putting some of those. We went to this concert, yeah, it's gonna be. I can't wait to get to ELO in August. Last night I was listening to ELO, thinking about it, and I sat here by myself listening to a record, and I actually got chills and got goosebumps, and I actually got a little weepy-eyed over it to think that I'm actually going to get to go see ELO, and then I thought to my daughter. And her at like Harry Styles or the 1975, and her just bawling her eyes out, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be my daughter. I'm going to be at ELO, and I'm just going to be bawling. Because when she told me that she's taking me, I started crying, right? I was just like, oh my God, really? After all of these decades of not being able to go to ELO because he's just not into touring, all of a sudden, at the end of his life and career, at the end of my life and career, I actually finally get to go see ELO, and I'm just, yeah, it's a miracle. I got to savor this coffee this morning. We're trying to cut down on how much coffee we make, because I'll go in there and I'll make 2.5, 3 cups of coffee, and then drink 2 or 2.5 cups of coffee and leave my wife a little bit. It's like, okay, I'm going to make 2 cups, and I'll make a big cup for me, and then that's it, and then the rest is hers. And I think I've whittled it down to just about the right amount. She should finish off exactly what's in the pot now, and that's a hard gauge there, because I get done with this, and I want more, which is funny because on Saturday and Sunday I'll have the same amount of coffee. I'll get up out of bed a couple of hours later, and I won't want to drink the same amount of coffee. I will sit here, and I'll take a few sips, and I'll get done with the coffee and have breakfast, and my wife will look at the cup and go, you didn't even drink a third of this. And it's because I'm not on. I'm here, but I'm not here, right? And I guess that's the difference, is that when I'm on here, I require the coffee. When I'm not here, I don't need it. I don't need it, man. Can somebody please tell me, man, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what the fuck is going on. You need to take another hit, man, and chill out. I think you're right, man. You got one of those aspirin, man? My head hurts. Oh, wow, man. How many of those aspirin did you take, man? I think I took 4, man. My head is killing me. Wow, man. Those were actually tabs of acid, man. Oh, shit, man, are you kidding me? Oh, man, I'm gonna be freaking out, man. Oh, wow. Are you guys finished, man? Like, I'm in line, I want to buy, like, some cigarettes and get down to the beach. Hey, man, look, we're standing in line at the store, man. I didn't even know that shit, man. I think this acid is pretty fucking good, man. Oh, wow, man. I think you should just mellow out, man. Hey, man, I don't feel so good, man. Hey, my heart is racing, man.
No, really. No. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to you. Yeah, I know what shirts I've worn over, because I write them down, bottom of the page here, shirts. Color coordinated daytime shirts, nighttime shirts, right? If I do another live show in one day, it's going to be a third shirt. If I leave here in the morning and go out and do something, I'll put on a second shirt after the morning shirt. And then I'll come home, and if I went out and I got sweaty and stinky, well, I'll take a shower and put on a third shirt. And then if that shirt is something that I've already worn in the nighttime, well, then I'll put on a fourth shirt. And sometimes I like to go out after the nighttime show to the store or to open mic or something. And if the nighttime shirt that I'm wearing doesn't really fit my mood, I'll put on a fifth shirt. My wife's like, what is your problem, man? I like shirts. They express my soul, They tell people how I'm feeling. What kind of mood I'm in. It's not my fault if other people got like a stick up their ass or something, I'm just trying to enjoy life, man. If that means changing my shirt every couple of hours and having like a wardrobe change, that's cool. I mean, it's not like I have a wardrobe malfunction and I change my shirt and my penis falls out or something, on live television, Early on when I was doing this live stuff, I'm like, man, how do I get people to watch, man? And my daughter's like, well, usually in the first couple of minutes, people are going to want to see something. They're going to want to experience something different or exciting, right? And it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Walk into my underwear or, have my robe open? I mean, I don't understand what to do. Come in and do a little song and dance every morning. And I thought, well, I'll start off with some opening credits, right? And that'll get the show off to a good start. Some fun opening credits. And I don't know how many people actually show up in the morning for the opening credits or stay around at the end of the show for the closing credits. But the credits are fun. The opening theme and everything, it's a lot of fun. It gets me ready. As soon as I hear that bugle, squeaking out do whack-a-doo, I'm ready to go. It gets me pumped up, man. And it helps me to time travel. It takes me out of my now and puts me in this past place. It puts me there, my happy place, that corner, this room. This whole room right here is like my happy place, my time machine. And I keep it up here. It's always up here. And if I go out into the world, I'll take it with me via little devices like my secrets box, right? I'll take an old 1980s secrets box, and I'll put an old roach clip in it, I'll take one of these old little roach clips, ones with the beads and little squeeze handle, and you squeeze it and it opens up. And then I'll take my little pack of 1970s Zig Zag rolling papers, right? With the first original barcode on there. And then it also has a pack of Circle K matches from the 80s. All right, part of my matchbook collection. It's got Shasta Cola on. Oh, High Spark Cola. High Spark. That's a throwback. So I'll take this little time machine with me. I'll roll a doobie, stick it inside there, and I'll stick this in my pocket. And this helps me to time travel wherever I go. I pull this out and open it up and set it in front of me, and it's an extension of this room, right? I now have the room traveling with me in this little box, and it helps me to take a piece of the past and bring it into the present, right? And so I'll set it out, and then people will be like, "Oh, what the hell's that? Oh my gosh, check that out," you know? And then now we're interacting together in the past. So I'm bringing them with me on my little time trip, you know? Marge, this guy's wackadoo. Leave him alone, Harry. He's a Renaissance man. Yeah. Renaissance. Renuisance. Oh my God. Holy hell.
Don't go up the stairs, Barbara.
No, really, man. Don't go up there, because at the top of the stairs, there's like this skull body and stuff with the face all chewed up. Yeah, Night of the Living Dead. I'm going to have to boot that one up. That's probably a must on the channel here, is Night of the Living Dead. Because it's one of those first movies that we got to experience like over and over. It's like before cable TV. There was early cable Z television on TV, that kind of shit. Not many people had it. Had to be in an area with cables. So you had to be in a relatively new neighborhood. Of course, we were in a neighborhood in the late 70s, early 80s that had cable, but we didn't have cable. But what we did have was my father would go to UCSD campus, and he'd bring home a 16 millimeter projector and a bunch of films, and we'd be able to sit and watch them in the living room on the wall over and over and over and over and over again, backwards, forwards, with the sound, without the sound. So it was a ball. It was a fucking blast. So that was one of the first movies, Night of the Living Dead, that I got to experience like that. You know, here's a movie that we can just kind of do whatever we want with. We would turn it down and play it backwards and sit there and speak the parts, you know. Not like, no, we, you know, hey, dude, what's going on? Shut up, man. I want to kill this guy. No, don't. Go backwards. Yeah. It's totally fun stuff, man. I'm going to try to ignore the dogs because they just, what do I want? I want to get out. I want to have a drink of water, and then I want to sit there and look at you and make you confused as to what my needs are. I just don't want to read dogs this morning. You know, of course, I'll say that, and then 2 seconds later, there'll be a scratch at the friggin' door. Or, better yet, Bessie will just go, boo! You know, and she's like in a room with somebody sleeping, and she gives a boo! You know, it's like, what kind of niceness is that to wake up to, right? And I'm like, God, like, no fucking way. Did that dog just bark while I was sleeping? What was that noise? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if she did that to me, I'd probably freak out and scream and throw something, right? What the fuck? Yipe, 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 yipe. Yeah, man. I can't believe the amount of shows that I produced yesterday for the show, for the program, for the channel. It's fun taking shared content that I've enjoyed my entire life and then be able to bring it to you so that you can enjoy it and go, that's why he's a fucking nutcase. Look at the shit that he watches. Pardon me. He grew up on this shit? No wonder. Right? So, yeah, yesterday with In Search Of was so fucking bitchin'. I'm going to do that once a month. Try to bring an In Search Of episode once a month because there's not many and I don't want to eat all the episodes up. So, on Television Tuesday, once a month, we'll do In Search Of, and then I'll try to drop something else in the other Tuesdays of the month. Like some more, some more fun stuff that we've been watching. That's Incredible, some more That's Incredible, or Those Amazing Animals. That would be neat. I'd like to find a few more episodes of those. I don't know that we can do Real People, because right now Real People is on Amazon Prime. So if you want to watch Real People, watch Amazon Prime. If you want to watch Sid and Marty Krofft shows, then you need to go to Roku. And all of the Sid and Marty Krofft stuff right now is on Roku, and it's fucking awesome. It's crazy stuff. I'm still playing around with Land of the Lost, and it's like, well, I got to start watching some of these other shows before they're gone, because they rotate their stock, But if you get a chance, watch the Sid and Marty Krofft stuff on Roku. Just crazy fucking good stuff. I mean, if you want to know the things that I was watching when I was a kid, my brother and I would just sit and watch the hell out of some Sid and Marty Krofft. Crazy stuff. H.R. Puffin stuff is great, but the Bugaloos, Lidsville, Speed Buggy, Electra Girl and Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. I mean, come on, those far out space nuts. Dude, the shows are just fucking endless. Oh man, my coffee's getting low. And I can't afford to drink a whole bunch of coffee today. I want to do some more editing and uploading programming today. But I also want to get a nap. I didn't get a nap yesterday, which was amazing that I was actually able to keep going. I got everything ready, and I'm like, okay, at noon, I'm going to go lay down. And I booted up some stuff to save, and it saved really quick. And I was like, wow, well, now I've got a little extra time before noon. And every time I saved, it would save really quick. And I'm thinking, well, shit, I can't stop now. I've got, I can pump out, with it going this fast on both computers, saving content after I edit. I mean, I was like it's going to take 45 minutes over here. So I'd go over here and I'd create something and I'd start it saving. It's like, it's going to take a half an hour over here. And then I'd look over here. Well, now this is down to a half an hour. And it's like, well, crap. They're both going to be done at the same time. And then boom, they're done at the same time. Now I've got to get something over here, edit. Okay, save. And then go over here, edit, save. Ah, crap, they're going to be done at the same time again. And it was like every half hour I was saving 2 videos for like a huge chunk of the day. So I couldn't stop. I couldn't give up that much production, right? If it was like, it's going to take an hour and a half over here and 2 hours here, I'm taking a nap, period. Nothing I can do here. And it just was going so fast. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't sleep at all last night. Doop. Yeah. And so I got through with my show, and I did some more saving, a little bit of uploading, and I was able to get out of here around 9. And even though my goal was 8, I got out of here before 9 and got into bed and was nodding off at around 10, which was amazing, right? No, actually, I wasn't nodding off at around 10. I was laying there after 10. I think I was out before 11, which gave me, 5-ish hours minus my get up in the middle of the night pee breaks, which take, 10 or 15 minutes to go back to sleep from. So, my sleep schedule is getting back to normal. If I could get 6 good hours at night, which means being asleep by 10, I wouldn't need a nap during the day, really. Because I thrive on 6 hours sleep. If I only get 4 hours sleep night after night, after about 4 or 5 nights, I'm just destroyed, and I'm going to have to go out for 8 to 10 hours, and I hate that because it hurts. It totally hurts, man. It totally hurts. Hurts and furts and smirchin'. Hurts and furts and smirchin'. It's totally cool, dude. Totally. Now, it looks like I lost a few frames this morning, but it's back down to 0%. 84 frames in over an hour and a half. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like this live stream thing. I like this OBS. I can see things going on. I can't wait to get this hooked up to the Ethernet. But at the same time, I just don't have the... It's not in a schedule. Once I'm able to produce all of my content during the week for the programming on my channel, and that'll free up my weekends so that if I'm not working, I can then create more content for this channel, but at the same time I can also work on the technical aspects of this channel, which is learning how to use this gear better. You know, this ATEM Mini Pro from Blackmagic Design. It's really neat, and it has so much more capabilities. It has editing programs that go with it. It can be plugged directly into the Ethernet box. So and bypass my computer and free up my computer for stuff, you know, and allow me to record to the hard disk. There's so many things that I can be doing that I just haven't got the time to learn yet. Because honestly, I haven't needed it. What I need is to have my graphics be able to key in with the push of a button without having to use the computer. And that would free up my computer so that I could play with sound on this computer while having a graphic keyed up on the screen that has nothing to do with my desktop, right? And that would free up so much space for me to work on bringing content live. It really would. It would just be so much easier. So that's about the only thing that I really need to get going ASAP. Yeah, he's a sap, all right. Totally. Yeah. Set my eyeball, my eyelid. Sometimes it gets itchy, and I try not to rub my eye. So I just kind of grab underneath my eye and pop the eyelid down. You know, look into the eye. And it helps. I guess when I get down, I'll probably lay down with a cold wet rag over my eyes and try to mellow out the itchiness. I must have been rubbing my eyes all night or something, because my eyes feel all icky. Totally. So let's see, it's 6 a.m. Wow, it's June 19th. That's crazy stuff. Does that mean it's like Juneteenth or something? Tuneteenth? I don't know. Let me look at the old map here for the calendar dates. Juneteenth. It's on the 19th, Wednesday, so that's Juneteenth today. I thought it was last week, so shows you what I know. But every day should be, right? Most of the holidays that pass us by and we go, yay! Well, shouldn't we be thinking about this stuff every day? Why do we give these important things only one day a year? You know, to remind us. Well, we should be reminded about a lot of this shit every single fucking day. Of course, you got cancel culture out there. It's like, no, man, we don't want to think about it, man. It brings us down, man, to think about how bad they were in the past. Let's just be bad now and not think about that. Yeah. I'm not into cancel. I'm into experiencing the past for the sake of learning for the present and taking that into the future, right? If you just don't want to look at the past and don't want to think about it, you're more likely to repeat the mistakes, right? Right? Totally. We've talked about Cheech and Chong. We've kind of experienced Cheech and or Chong this morning. You're telling me, Holmes? Hey, wow, man. There's one of the commercials I use in the evening has kind of a Cheech and Chong feel. So that's cool. I think I'm actually going to try to, when I have some free time, since audio is a lot easier to produce than video, because then you have two aspects. You have the audio and the video. And then with the video, you have a whole other realm of issues, not just with where the camera goes and who's going to push the buttons, but what are you going to wear? Where's the camera going to be pointing? What are the props? What's the set? What's my motivation? I mean, there's a whole slew of issues that pop up when you do video. If I were to create some audio, create some commercials, create some news broadcasts, and then it's just pretty much write up some copy, do my voiceover, create some fluff around it, some sound effects, music, whatever, and then do some old style vintage commercials. Even find commercials from the past, and if they're just not in great condition, well, then just reproduce it. Or reproduce commercials from my head that I remember from the past, right? To the best of my ability. Research it online, and we can't find it, but this is the transcript of the commercial, right? Or maybe find it on a source that I can't use it, so I'll just reproduce it, right? Like last night I was trying to find something to eat, and I was like, in and out, that's what a hamburger is all about. And my wife looks at me and goes, oh, and I said, yeah, that's one of those radio commercials. She goes, oh, I don't remember that one. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you about my day, you young whippersnapper. I remember when In-N-Out only had cheeseburgers. Grandpa, they still only have cheeseburgers. I remember when In-N-Out was only white people working there. True story. In-N-Out in California, you couldn't find one minority working at In-N-Out for the longest period of time. Anywhere you went in Southern California, you'd pull up and you'd drive through the drive-thru, looking in through that glass window at the kitchen, and every one of those people would be a young white person, perfectly manicured, right? It's like going to the Mammoth Mountain ski resort, and everybody, these perfect young white people, all manicured up, dressed perfectly, looks like a GQ magazine spread, just fucking horrible. And now you go to In-N-Out, and it's ethnically diverse, right? As the actual world is, Don't get me started on Chick-fil-A. Jeez. They had to change their ways or die a horrible fast food death because they were, of course, their image is all nice and fresh now, right? Chick-fil-A. I'm still not into Chick-fil-A. I never experienced their food, but I did experience their politics and their views on religion and what do they call that? Sexual identity, right? And shame on them. And they can do all the backpedaling they want, but it's still there in my head, and I'm just not into Chick-fil-A. I'm just not into it. They had to go through a horrible situation, a scandal, in order to change their ways. It took a scandal about them not wanting to hire people who weren't Christians, and they don't want gays, and they don't want, it's like, give me a break. Like, that's gonna fly today. Somebody grabbed onto that shit, and boy, they had to backpedal their way out of that shit really quick. It's like backpedaling out of 6G, right? What was 6G? We don't even know. It's going to come out in a few more years. Well, wasn't it supposed to? No, it never came out. COVID, right? Yeah, wasn't that something? And then you research it now, and it's like, no, it's not due to come out for a few more years. No, and then it won't ever come out because it don't work, That signal, radio waves, go against the human body at that setting, 60 GHz, it don't work. The human body says, sound wave experiments for crowd control, very similar, only its symptoms were, they were so very similar to that of some this illness that just popped up out of nowhere. Yeah, go figure. And then all of a sudden we got this huge thing that's going to roll out, and then it rolls out and then just fades away because everybody's looking over here dealing with this, and nobody thinks about, well, what happened to our extra special internet access that's going to change the world? Yeah, it changed the world, all right. Changed the whole face of the world. But shh, don't tell anyone, right? Yeah. He's talking crazy. No, he's not. He's not talking crazy. You're crazy for not believing him. Ah, you're a nut, too. I wanted you, Harry. Ah, yeah. Well, the coffee is cold and just about extinct. The bong hits are semi-plentiful. My budget has suffered the recent slowdown in reservations. So, yeah, here I sit doing bong, and I told myself, well, don't do bong hits then, because it's a waste, but it's not. It helps filter this stuff and get it into my head and then into my body a lot quicker. So I'll do a few bong hits, and then I'll go back to my little one-hitter, my economical one-hitter. But I gotta have these hits to my head. Cold 45. Treat yourself to malt liquor. The best malt liquor. Yeah, if I could find old transcripts of radio commercials, right? Or find some that are shitty, kind of, muddled together with other commercials or music or stuff, so I can't really use it, edit it, and then just take it, find similar music or recreate music, transcript the copy, and then just reproduce it, baby. I think I could do that, get some sound baffling stuff around me here. Oh man, fucking dogs. Be right back. I got 2 dogs out. Psst. Lay down. Lay down. Don't be annoying. Psst, psst. Come on. Come into your chair and lay down, Sam. You freak. Arr. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Once again. Yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit disconnected from my pain. Every morning I get through here. It looks like I dropped a couple of more frames. I'm at 0.1%. 122 frames dropped in almost 2 hours. That's great. That's some great stats right there. Usually my plan is to get done from here and just jump right into bed and get a nap over with, right? But that usually won't happen because I get a little pumped up about getting something started here before I go lay down. And then, of course, I'll get something started, and it won't take as long as I think it's going to take. And it's like, well, I got a couple of minutes to kill, and then I can save something else or upload something else, right? And I've just got so many things right now created. I need to upload them. And I like the premiere date thing. I'm probably getting carried away with the premiere stuff with the countdown, the 5-minute cinematic countdown to the start. But you know, I'm into building up suspense, and I enjoy learning and using whatever I can. And YouTube offers you a lot when it comes to content, audio, music, and sound effects, and different ways of presenting your video. Oh, pardon me. So that's really cool. And it helps the creator. Psst, Sam, leave her alone and lay down. Psst. Monkey. Well, you get up in the chair, Bessie. You want to get up in the chair? No? She don't care. She don't care. Hi, Sam. How's it going, bud? How's it going, Scrappy? Tough guy, tough guy. He's a tough guy. Oh, he's a tough guy. Hey, tough guy. Come on. Go lay down. So anyways, I've got a whole shitload of content. Most of it is old-time radio stuff. I'm looking at probably 4, 9, 10, 11. We're looking at 11 episodes of old-time radio, and then another 10 or 11 episodes, well, let's see, and then another 1, 2, 3, and then a couple of movies, right? And that's pretty damn cool. That's pretty cool. So each time I work on one particular old-time radio show, I used to like create one, and then a different one, and then a different one, and a different one, and have 4, and then release the 4. Well, now I'm creating 5 to 6 at a time, and then spreading them out, either one a day or one a month on a specific day, so that I'm programming stuff out in advance. And my plan is to program my regular shared content on a regular program schedule, and then do my morning stuff on a regular schedule, so that there's always something going on, always something going on. And then I was thinking about the different days you know, old time radio Wednesdays. That pretty much is going to be every day now. Old time radio is going to be every day. So the caption may turn from Old Time Radio Wednesdays to just Old Time Radio. And 8 o'clock science fiction, 8 a.m. science fiction, noontime Old Time Radio show, some kind of afternoon movie, early evening, afternoon, and then in a primetime movie, something that comes at about 8 o'clock. And that, it's not as, it is challenging, but it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be, Especially if I work at it every day, most of the day, I can create a lot of content and keep pushing it out further and further into the future. So that, Sam, leave her alone. She doesn't need a dentist or an ear doctor. Go on, go lay down. Go to your bed. Go lay down. All right, that's it. Now they have to go outside. I'll be right back. Don't nobody go nowhere. I know. Yeah, I want to get, at some point, have a regular schedule of live work and studio production work, whether it be creating content or sharing content, right? But have a steady schedule so that I'm on at this time and I'm off at this time, and I've got this break in between. All right, that was a sneeze. I sneeze pretty loud, so I try to turn off the microphone when I know it's coming, and I can avoid sharing it with y'all. But it was a bad one. And I spared you the subsequent nose blowing and maintenance. So there's that. So anyways, I keep having these fantastic ideas, and sometimes I write them down and sometimes I don't. But when I do, sometimes it turns into a YouTube channel. Sometimes it turns into a mobile live unit that never really gets mobile, but it can, and it can move around the room. And I think I'm going to adjust the room. I really do. I think I'm going to kick this thing out, square it up with this room here so it becomes a cubby, and it'll give me easier access to my records, right? Clean up the cables a bit, cut down on some of the clutter, and then invest some time in putting some more cameras up around the room. I want a handheld camera, even if it's just a USB camera, right? Something that I can pick up and take around the room and say, okay, look at this, check this out. Even if it's just aim it over here and aim it over there. And then if I want, okay, let's flip to this camera, and I'll pick this camera up and walk it around with me and look at stuff. So you can see more of what's going on in here. I need a wide angle shot of this room. And I'm not sure how to go about getting it right now. I need to get my other camera slot working, and then just find the correct camera for that slot, you know. I thought I had it until the guys mailed it in a frickin' envelope. I wish I had that guy's eBay information, because I would burn him, you know. Yeah, it was one of my shippers. Yeah, right, like you got a fucking company. Give me a fucking break. You know you dropped that thing in a fucking bag. Don't blame it on somebody else. Don't give me that bullshit. You know, say you were rushed and you dropped it into an envelope and you weren't thinking, you know. And then get on eBay yourself and find another camera to replace it, even if you got to spend double the fucking money. Look, I found one. It was $40, but I talked the guy down, and it's on its way to you, and he's going to ship it packaged correctly in the original box, right? That's what you do when you fuck up like that. If you want me to take my comment back and go in and give you high praise for fixing shit. No. You got to, you know, what can I do to make it so that you'll take that comment back? You know, not a fucking thing. You had your chance. And then again, you had your chance when you could have come back and said, hey, look, you know, I'm sorry that happened. You know, I rely on this. This is my income. But look, I found another camera for you, and they're going to ship it right out to you. That's what I would do. Fucking eBay. You know, full of fucking chiselers and con artists and fucking scammers. Fucking scammers and pajamas. I don't buy most of the shit that people say anymore, you know, because it's just fucking lips moving, lips flapping. Back it up, you know, back it the fuck up with something other than your fucking jaw flapping. Now. Yeah. Like next door yesterday, an actual crew of like 3 or 4 people came over with a big van. People got out. They had a trailer behind it that was a big dump trailer, empty. And they went to our neighbor's house, and they put the cats in his bedroom, and they emptied his house out of the trash because he's an old guy, and he's a recluse, and he's a hoarder, and he's an invalid, and we try to do what we can. My wife, you know, used to go over there a lot and try to help him clean the place out. You don't need this, do you? Let's throw this away. You don't need all of these bottles over here. Let's throw this away. Well, let's keep a couple of these and get rid of the rest. You know, she was always really good and diligent about it. But he got to the point to where he was just embarrassed, and he didn't want somebody coming over to his house, right? And that, you know, that's kind of a bummer, you know. And it actually recently, it's gotten really bad, and he's been really hiding away, and he doesn't even watch TV out in his living room anymore, and just kind of hides. And then we got a new neighbor next to him on the other side of him, and she's an older lady like us, and she kept going out of her way to come over and talk to him, and she would actually get him to come out of the house because she didn't want to go in there, and she would sit out on the porch, out on his porch, and talk to him for hours, and they would just sit out there, right? And it's like, okay, now he's talking to people about trying to get somebody over to help him manage keeping his house clean, right? He needs a housekeeper. But his income is just slightly above, his fixed income is just slightly above the requirements that get him free help. So the people that came over yesterday, he had to pay for these people out of his own pocket, right? But everybody was like, you know, like the maintenance guy in the park, he's like, yeah, I went and I told the manager that we need to help him out somehow. And the manager called these people and sent them over, you know, and worked a deal out. And they came over and they spent the whole day pulling trash bag after trash bag after, oh my gosh, there's a mouse, oh my gosh, oh no, you know, running out, gagging, watering eyes and stuff. And it was really bad because he's got cats, so there's that whole smell issue, right? And it was really bad. And at some point, you know, they're all standing around going, I'm in the bathroom, right? And I hear them outside standing around going, wow, man, I'm like hot, and there's like no more water, and I feel dehydrated. So I tell my wife, I'm in the bathroom, I'm like, hey, take some water out, you know. So we try to help out as much as we can, especially with this particular neighbor. take him food as often as we can, check on him, call, hey, what's going on? You need to check your mail, that kind of stuff. And then these people are there, so it's like, well, let's try to back them up. So she took out water. Later on, she took out water and ice with cups, and was out there for like a couple of hours talking to them. I at some point last night, I told my wife, seriously, I told her straight face, look, you realize that if it wasn't for you, dear wife, that guy over there, that would be me, all right? Probably in worse condition, but that would be me, right? And she's like, yeah, right. And, you know, she kind of laughed it off. And as much as I tried to tell her, no, really. And she's, yeah, okay. And then I told our daughter, I said, you know, so I tried to tell your mom that, you know, if it wasn't for her, that would be me. And she's just like, mm-hmm. And she got it, you know. She was like, yeah, you're probably right. You know, at this point in your life, if you hadn't had that change 25 years ago with Mom, yeah, Dad, you probably would have been a kook. You know, and it wasn't just Mom, it was Natalie too. Natalie, Mom coming along, changing my life. Natalie coming along, changing my life. Our different dogs coming along and changing our lives. You know, the different people we've encountered on this journey over the last 25 years has just been, no more coffee, has just been incredible, you know. And lately, the journey has just gotten more complex and engaging, I guess, and more fun, because now I'm here with y'all. Isn't it just fun? Isn't it just fun? No, really. I think I'm having fun. Anybody else having fun? Because I'm definitely maybe having fun. Ask me after this next hit. You having any fun? Oh, really? Yeah, I'm not dropping any more frames. It's been over 2 hours. We got an hour and a half to go. We could listen to some old-time radio, but at this point, that's pretty much what my channel is going to be filled with. Twice a day, 5 days a week, is going to be old-time radio that you can listen to at your leisure. I'm going to start my pre-show with old-time radio, so if you show up at 4:20, you're going to hear an old-time radio show, unless I have technical troubles, which is why I do a pre-show at 4:20. And then start live at 5. You ever get those little itchies that you can't reach, you know? And basically it's the nerves in your fucking body starting to wake up. At least it is with me. But yeah. And then I'm going to be playing movies and TV and stuff. So I would prefer to just talk about old-time radio. On Old Time Radio Wednesdays. And then if anybody wants me to research something or bring something up, I got computers access right here, and then I have the ability to share my computer desktop with you and whatever's on there. So, am I making anybody itch? Right?
I feel like I got the creepy crawlies, man. I got the creepy crawlies.
Totally.
It's bugging him. What's bugging him?
I don't know, man. Some kind of crazy stuff, you know?
Hey, Dufo, what are you doing? I ain't doing nothing, man. Yo, Dufo. Hey, tell Dufo. What's going on, Dufo? I don't know, man. What's going on with you? Hey, Dufo. Why you guys call me Dufo, huh?
Yeah, really, man.
Orale, Dufo.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, my wife is Mexican. So part of my household humor slants on the Mexican side. So I'm often making my wife giggle by the way I screw up the Mexican language. And it's just, part of who I am, part of my humor, part of my comedic repertoire, if you would, because I'm just a kook. I'm just a kook. And, I don't mean to be offensive, so if you're offended, suck it up. Grow a sense of humor. And while you're at it, totally, peachy, man. That's totally peachy. You know what is peachy? My peachy. It's totally peachy. What do I have in my peachy? Oh, I forgot to hand in this fucking paper. God damn it. Fucking Greek mythology. Mrs. Johnson is gonna fucking kill me. She's my most and least favorite teacher in the 8th grade, Mrs. Johnson. I loved the content of the class, but she was always so needy. I mean, it's like, would you guys please turn stuff in? This is my job here. Oh, and then the substitute teacher that filled in for Mrs. Johnson. Oh, man. Mrs. Coquino. Oh, boy, did we give her hell. That poor lady. That poor, poor lady. I remember one day it was so bad. There was a couple of us doofuses over alongside in the classroom, off to the side, up against the windows, and we were going through these old books that weren't used, and one of the guys just ripped out a page, right? And Mrs. Coquino, she got pissed off, right? How dare you deface a book, right? And we're kids. We don't know about, book burning and all of the history behind, destroying books and all of this. And, you never mess with a book, man. Books are sacred. And we were just fucking kids, so we didn't know any of this shit. So we're over there just fucking around, destroying shit. And she wanted us to sit down, and she was a substitute teacher. She didn't really know what was going on. She didn't know who we were. Yeah, she had our names, especially if we sat down where we were supposed to. So we were just, we were full of ourselves and running amok and stuff. And we saw that we were getting her goat. We really did. And we took advantage of it. Like, I mean, what other kid would not? You see that you're digging on your parents, and your parents are just going, right? And so you just keep fucking with them more until they freak out and send you to your room. And then you just sit in there laughing. I got my parents good. Right? But, so it was like that with Ms. Coquino. And I don't think she was married. I don't think she had any children. She was kind of a spinstress and kind of a schoolmarm, plain Jane, big glasses, dressed kind of frumpy, kind of the broads that kind of turned me on. And we just stuck it to her. I mean, we were just the rudest, nastiest little farts. And we wouldn't sit down. We wouldn't listen. We were playing catch with the books back and forth. We were, disrupting the class. And while she could have just sent someone to the office, would you please go to the office and get the principal or the vice principal, please, and have them, and she could have just, written it down on a note and slipped it to one of the students. Could you please go get, please leave quietly, and no, she just totally freaked out, and she got way emotionally into it, and she freaked. She started screaming. She started yelling. She was pulling on her hair like this. She had tears in her eyes. She started just bawling, and she just stood there and took it, and then just fucking reacted like crazy, right? And we just got a kick out of it. We thought it was the funniest thing in the world that we were able to just just control this lady, right? Make her dance like a fucking puppet, right? And that's what kids did, We didn't think two shits about how she was feeling, you know, which was probably horrible. She was probably just feeling miserable. This is the only job she's ever wanted was to be a teacher, and these kids, you know, are fucking criminals. And they had a class, an actual class in junior high for kids like us, and I'm surprised we did not make it into that class. We had friends that were in that class, and you would, rather than go from class to class to class during, you know, 1st through 6th period, you would just go sit in that class all day long with that one mean teacher looking at you. What are you doing? Knock that off, right? And I'm surprised we didn't make it into that class, because we deserved to be there. We were just horrible people. We were horrible. But at the same time, the first year, my 7th grade year, that I went to the same school, I got transferred here to this school with 2 months left in the school year, right? 2 months to go. And we move, and now I'm in a new school. And this school, the entire school, treated me worse than we treated that teacher, right? I'd be walking down the hall and would get smacked in the back of the head. People would walk by and knock my books down. I was the quintessential bullied guy, right? Put notes on my back, kick the chair out from under me while I'm sitting down, hang stuff in my hair. My hair was all usually unkept and ratted and stuff. So I'm in the 7th grade. I'm a year older, so I'm a little bit bigger and chubby and a little goofier and weird, really weird. And I'm there for 2 weeks during the last 2 months of this school. And I just said, you know what? The teachers hate me. They treat me like some fucking alien, right? The kids treat me like some kind of animal, right? Even the staff, the rest of the staff, just treat me like shit or ignore me, right? So it's like, you know what? Fuck this. I have to think about my own fucking self-preservation. And I just removed myself from that school. I walked up to the bus stop one day and just stopped going, right? So, and I did that for the last 6 weeks of school. The last 6 weeks of 7th grade was me hanging out in the neighborhood with stray dogs and, you know, hanging out under pepper trees and stuff and, you know, counting the grains of sand at my feet. I mean, I just did whatever I could to survive. And hanging out at Punker Paul's house a lot, a friend of my brother's. And so that was my 7th grade year in this school, this particular school. So by the 8th grade, when I came back, I was full of myself. Like, well, you know, I can take care of myself now. And I had no trouble being an asshole. I had no trouble being a bully. I had no trouble going along to get along. Hey, you guys want to fuck, you know, well, sure, why not? You know, I started selling joints, right, to pay for lunch. Because I wasn't getting any money at home for lunch. I wasn't getting any food at home, but I was getting weed. I was getting a lot of weed. There was always weed around. There's not much food. So I would just take some fucking weed, snag it from the parents. If I couldn't find any money around, I would snag some weed in the morning because they would sleep till fucking noon, you know, and roll a couple of joints to sell at school and then roll one for after school, right? And I would sell $2 a joint at school and buy my lunch and then an after school snack after we smoked that joint and I get loaded, you know. And that's how I survived the 8th grade and made a lot of friends that way, you know. And then got into partying and going out and doing stuff on my own without my brother or sister around. And then occasionally would have them around, you know, check out what I can do, check out my friends, man. And, you know, we're all still friends with a lot of those people today. Yeah, man. The junior high thing, man. That was crazy. I'll pull up a photo of me in junior high, man. Where's a photo of me in junior high? External hard drive. That's it. Yeah. External hard drive, and then we go to HAL 9000 pictures. Yeah, that's a lot of pictures. Wow. And then we'll go down to scanned. scanned stuff. Wow, there it is. Scanned family photos from the 1920s to the present. Let's see, is this me in junior high? Oh, that folder's empty, man. Well, let's see, what do we got here? Okay, so this is 7th grade before we relocated, right? Wow, this is classic, man. So this is 7th grade before we relocated. Oh, this is too much. Who's here? So there's Brandy, and there's Secret, and there's me over there in my orange vest. And then here's a bunch of kids from the mobile home park. Right? Look at all that. God, we used to just fucking rule that place. We were crazy. Well, I was the oldest because I didn't have any friends my age. So I pretty much hung out with my sister and all the other kids in the park. True that. That is true. And let's see. Here's another shot. And here's me in the back here. Big and fat. That's me. Big and tall. Big and tall. And all these little rugrats down here. And God, there was a lot of us. This is pretty much all of us kids in the trailer park. I had a crush on this girl here. She was about my age. And she was just really cute. And of course she had boobies too, which didn't hurt. But she was just really cute. All right, so anyway, I'm not showing you the picture. So here we go. All right, sorry about that. So here's the first picture that we were looking at here, and here's Brandy, and here is Secret, her best friend, right? And I can't remember. Wake up, Mom. I gotta go wake up, Mom. There. Let's zoom in like that. All right. So I'll be right back. You guys check out this photo, and I'll be right back. Don't nobody go nowhere. Okay, the missus is awake, and I am back, and it looks like some of these kids are holding up photos, right? Some of these kids are holding up photos of other kids. Are these, look like school photos, right? School photos of friends, maybe? And absolutely none of these kids look familiar. He kind of looks familiar. And I don't know, is that DJ? This guy here, he looks familiar. Is that DJ? Oh, man. Yeah, I'm just not good at membering stuff. I'm not good at membering. Look, it's Willie Ames. A young Willie Ames. Now, I don't know who the hell that is. I don't know who these people are. I know that's me. There's my sister. There's Secret. And there's that girl that I had a crush on. And that's all I remember. That's it. It's all. Right? So let's zoom in, and you guys can check that out. And look, man, you can just see the chubbiness and the unkept hair back here. You know, brush that hair, pet him, get it down, brush. And my sister in that hat. You remember that hat, Brandy? Are you there? You remember that hat? It's a funny hat. I had a crush on Secret, too. Shh, don't tell her. I just don't remember her name. I don't remember her name. Yeah, she moved to another mobile home park out in Sage, out off East Benton Road. It's a mobile home park out in the middle of nowhere, and her family moved out there. And I bumped into her once out there, and because there was nobody else living out there, she was real excited to see me, and I her, because I was living up the road on a little piece of property with my family. So it was kind of neat, and I still had a crush on her, and yeah. So there's that, you know. And it sounds like the missus is up moving around. Let me see. I was looking for a picture of me in junior high, because we're talking about the 8th grade. Okay, here's junior high, and here is 1981 in junior high. Oh man, let me bring this up and share it with you all, because this is after I had come back from my experiences being a school ditcher, right, where I cut out of school for 6 weeks straight, and this is the after the summer that followed that 6 weeks of ditching. I didn't go to the last day of school. I didn't think about school. Once I stopped going, I would just get up in the morning and walk out past that bus stop and just keep going, and then just spend the day out on an adventure, whether I was by myself or over at Punker Paul's house or hanging out with some stray dog. I did that for 6 weeks the year before this, and so now you can see in my face, like, you know what, don't fuck with me, you know, just don't fuck with me. And at this point I had started trying to fit in and care about what I looked like, you know, so I had lost a little bit of the chub and started brushing my hair and dressing, you know, dressing how I felt, and I really loved that leather jacket. I grew out of it pretty quick, and I was bummed. But I loved that leather jacket. I loved that shirt. Well, I can't remember what it said. I think it had something to do with hot air ballooning, if I'm not mistaken. But that was me. That was me. That was me. Sheesh. And I'm covering up the mole here, and you can still see the mole here that I used to have. Of course, I don't have those 2 moles anymore. And just about the time I started to grow another one on my nose, I had the 3 of them removed, the trifecta of moles, plus one on my back, one on my hand, just to make sure that they weren't cancerous. But I really wanted to get rid of these 2, because they'd fucked with me my whole life, right? I did not like their appearance, and I just wanted them gone. And so when I had the opportunity, you know, 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, I had them removed. So I no longer have a mole over here and a mole down here. No, it was over here and over here. Yeah, it was right here and right here. And so that's gone. And then here's my best friend at the time, Andy, and this is he was in the 7th grade at the time in the same school, and because he was just a holy terror in school, he was immediately shunted off into that one class, and he was not allowed to mingle with the rest of the students, right, with a few other rowdy individuals. So this is Andy, and because he was so different, we got along great. And we met in the bathroom. I'm like, hey man, you want to buy a joint? And he's like, what kind is it? And I'm like, well, it's marijuana. And he says, yeah man, but what kind of marijuana is it? And I'm like, it's good marijuana? And he says, oh man, you don't even know what kind it is? And I'm like, well, you know, what the fuck? You want to smoke it after school? Yeah, but where do you go after school? Wherever, you know, probably across the street, and get some, get apple pie and some milk or something, man, and then go blaze that doop. Yeah, that sounds cool. I'll meet you after school. I gotta go around the back of the school, and I gotta get my motorcycle. I rode my motorcycle here today. It's a little Yamaha 80, right? Oh, where'd you go? Hey, there you are. You drove a motorcycle here? You're like in 7th grade. Yeah, I know. I take it all the time. My parents bought it for me, but they don't like me to drive it. But they sleep all day long because they work at a casino and they work graveyard shift. See what? You just do whatever you want. Yeah, most of the time, yeah. Right on. Well, let's meet after school, man, and you know, we'll blaze that doobie. Sounds good, man. Hey, you want to come over to my house at night, man, while they're gone? Yeah. Can I bring a couple of friends? Yeah, sure, man. I'll talk to you after school, man. I got to get back to class. Mr. D's is gonna kick my ass. All right, man. Yeah, I got to go too, or I'm in trouble, man. They're gonna make me stay after. All right, man. Take it easy, man. I'll see you later. Oh, here's my number, man. What's your number? It's 768-3262. Oh, I'm little, man. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Wow, and that's how I met Andy. Did you hear it? Did you hear the water? It sounds like the kitchen's open, man. Maybe I can get some food. Totally. Wow, it's almost 7 o'clock. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy, man. I can't believe it's this late.
What are you gonna do about it, huh?
Probably take a hit of weed. Hit of weed. Some water, too. Totally. Yeah, we went to school a lot together, me and Andy. It seems like if I were to get kicked out of a school and sent over to another program, he was already there. You know, when he got to high school, I was in the 10th grade and he was in the 9th grade, and neither of us lasted long before we were given the boot and sent out of traditional schooling. You know. Well, let me see if I can dig up another picture of me and Andy from our school days. I'll have to reopen this file here because
I stupidly closed it up, and now I got to get back into there, the external hard drive, and then back down into there into that. Where's that? Sal. That means Hal. There's Hal.
Open up. Let me in. Hey, I'm trying to get in here. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey.
Where are you? We're at Family Slides, and then S, scanned family photos from the past to the present. Alright, let's see. Alright, well, there's my 9th grade year. I had found out that I was losing weight and getting tall, and even though I was kind of grubby, I was kind of a sleaze bag, I was still kind of cool. And there's that shirt, the Grand Prix of ballooning, sponsored by Coca-Cola. I got that shirt from my grandfather. And that's Michelle. That's my first honest girlfriend, right? Had it, poor girl. Hot cheese. I think I tortured her with my insanity. I hear my wife laughing. All right. Okay. These are some great photos. I think I borrowed these from my sister and scanned these. All right. Here we go. Where you get to see my desktop there. I just taking you along for the ride. Taking you along for the ride. Okay, so here's Chris. And there's me. And by this time, I'm like the coolest dude in the world. I'm like my own biggest fan, and I'm like a rock star in my own mind. Look at that guy. I don't know why I'm wearing these things around my leg. I guess because it looks cool. I kind of look like a modern day cowboy. Yep. Jeans and a cut-off sleeve t-shirt. Man, doesn't that just say 80s? Look at that belt. My daughter has the same belt right now. I remember her. We went to the last concert we went to. She's taking it off and throwing it down in the bucket as she's going through the scanner, you know. And I'm going through like 3 times. Beep, 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 beep. So it's like, what the hell? You got plates in your head? No, man, I got these pills here. And I got a belt on. Like, oh, just come through, dude. Oh, like, grab my cane so I can make it through. Yeah, funny stuff. Far cry from this guy here. He's a different guy from a different era, but man, what a rock star. This house here is Rich and Charlotte's house. This was my favorite place in the world. At this point, I'm living with Chris on his couch. No, in his bedroom, because he has an extra bed, right? So I have a bed in his bedroom, and I'm living in his house because at 15 I just said, fuck it, and I left, right? I'm wearing, and most of the clothes are from Andy, all right, because I'm on my own. So these pants are mine, and this shirt is mine, but I think the shoes and the accessories and stuff are all Andy's, and or Chris's, because you know, I was really good at borrowing stuff from people and then usurping it and making it my own, right? That's what you do when you're homeless. You just you do whatever you can do. All right, now look at these kooks. So this is 9th grade, or is this 10th grade? Ah, hell. From left to right here, this is Chris. This is Andy. This is me. Oh my God, that's Heather. I just had her in a dream the other night. I was somewhere, I can't remember where I was. We were walking around, and she passed me by. I think I was on the Love Boat, and she passed me by. And I'm like, Gopher, holy hell, look, it's Heather. Yeah, and there's Richard Delcor. This is Heather and Sandy's car. I dated Heather for a short period of time, but I think we were dating each other because we looked cool together, right? I think that was pretty much it. She was a lot of fun. She was really sweet, really nice person. And I think we stopped dating because she was lesbian, and I think we were just dating because, you know, she couldn't say that she was, right? Or bisexual, lesbian or bisexual, I don't know. But she was just the nicest person in the world, and I was kind of bummed. You know, I had gone out with a couple of girls before her and broken a couple of hearts, but when she dumped me, boy, I was crushed. And Richard Delcor, he keeps popping up in my head, but I can't locate him. I can't find him. If anybody knows where Richard Delcor is, tell him to come visit me. I'm here all the time. I'm here 5 days a week. 2 shows a day. The kitchen is open.
One is not enough.
One is not enough. No, one show's not enough. I got to do 2 shows tonight. That's it. I got to do 2 shows. I'm a 2-show guy. God, we were a lot of fun. Everywhere we were, that was the fucking place to be. We were so fucking cool. Yep. Just way cool. Look at these guys. Here's James. And here's me. And Andy's members only. That I just all of a sudden wore all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that jacket. And then there's Pat. Pat's no longer with us. And there's Chris again. Summertime in a lake town. Yeah, look at me. Everybody else is in t-shirts and shorts and shit, no shoes. I'm fully dressed like I'm going to a concert. And it's quite possible we are, right? It's possible at some point. Oh, look at this guy. Who the hell is this guy? Who does he think he is? He's a fucking rock star, man. Look at him. I got those black parachute pants on with the zippers everywhere, right? And I'm going to say Andy's Nikes, right? And these are Andy's pants. This is Andy's jacket. And this is my shirt. I think I got this at the swap meet. Yeah. And I am looking cool in borrowed wardrobe. All right, the side shot. Looking back, right? It's like, did somebody call me, man? Well, fuck off, man. I'm cool. Oh, and there I am being cool again. This guy, he's like, I don't want to be on camera, but you can take a shot of my nads here. Anybody want to see my nads? Let's see. This is, well, nadless. We got nadless here. And this is me, the rock star. This is Tony, James' sister. And this is Robert, the rock star's brother. And she always dressed classic. She was always beautiful, picture perfect. She was, I haven't seen her in decades. Yeah, she was always fun to hang out with. A little quiet, a little shy, but I loved her outfits. She dressed like somebody from the 20s, right? Very cool. Very, very cool. Ah, one of my most favorite people from back then. This is Blaine. If you stop by and watch this video, hi Blaine. Yeah, I think the first time I met him, he was hanging upside down out of a tree. For a while, I think he had a cast because he broke his arm falling out of a tree. He used to like to hang upside down from trees, I believe, if I remember correctly. This is his beach cruiser. He used to cruise from, jeez, holy hell, over there off like Monroe and Machado Avenue area, like Monroe, between Machado and Riverside Drive in Elsinore. He lived over there with his family, his mother and father and siblings and stuff. In fact, when I went homeless, the first night I went homeless, I went over to Blaine's house and slept on his the couch in his garage. He had this garage made up like a living room where all of the kids would hang out and do their stuff. So I slept in there for a couple of nights before I wound up on Chris's floor. And he used to come over in this beach cruiser and go to school at Chris's house. Chris's mother was a school teacher for the church, and Blaine and Chris and Steve and some others, Chris's sister, they all went to school at Chris's house. And it was just kind of weird because I would get up and I would leave the house and I would go off to high school, and these guys would all gather at Chris's house and do school, and they'd do schoolwork for the day, and then I'd come back on the bus or with a friend and hey, what are we gonna do? But in the mornings I would walk down from Chris's house here to this house, to Rich and Charlotte's, where Tracy and Sam, our age, and I'd buy a couple of doobies, get a couple of doobies, and hang out with Charlotte and get high. And she'd be up early drinking coffee and hanging out with the cats. So I'd show up on my way to the bus stop, or, waiting for Gary to come by. And I'd get a couple of doobs. Gary'd pick me up, and we'd cruise around the lake, picking people up and smoking doobies. and that's the same house. And here's us again. Here's James and me and Pat and Chris. And so while I never lived at Rich and Charlotte's house, I actually lived at in the early 90s, late 80s actually. I lived at Brett's house, where Rich and Charlotte eventually came and stayed for a while. But I never stayed with Rich and Charlotte. I did live with Chris for a while, and I did live with Pat, who lived up the street. So those are a couple of people who I lived with back then when I was homeless, right? And there's Tracy, and there's Tony. A couple of my favorite people. Somebody's scabby knee. I don't want to see your scabby knee. You scab. Yeah, totally cool. Very cool people. Very cool time. And here we go. There's a, jeez. Holy hell. Alright, there's another good shot. Look at those motorcycles. There's Tracy. She lives over here, and not this one, but the one right here. And there's Pat. He lives up Gunnerson, and then off over on Marshall Street. And that's that. That's a little trip down memory lane. Let's see, let's pop on back to another file. Anything good here? Hello? Wake the hell up. Alright. Crazy. Alright. Anyways, Hans. So, Old Time Radio Wednesday today. And you know, back then, I actually listened to old time radio, a lot of it, and I tried to turn my friends onto it. You know, it was like every once in a while we'd be hanging out somewhere, like at night. If we were hanging out somewhere like at 9 o'clock at night, and we're in a car hanging out somewhere, getting loaded, chilling out in the neighborhood with the radio on, I'd be like, hey, it's 9 o'clock, man. Turn on KNX 1070 and listen to some old time radio. And they're like, oh, what? What the fuck are you talking about? You know, and they would think that I was just fucking out of my gourd, right? They're just talking. It's like TV with no TV. And I'd be like, yeah, man, check it out, man. And they'd be like, all right, man. And after a while, they'd be like, hey, man, we're going to hang out with Mike and we're going to listen to some old-time radio shows, man. And then I'd be cool again, you know. At first, I'm like the weird guy that's like out of time, you know. He's removed from time. Holy shit, man, he's like totally removed from time. Hey, wow, man, that's far out. Hey, dude, give me a break. Hey, Marge, he's doing his voices again. Leave him alone, Harry. He's crazy. He'll come after you. Ah. Right, there's too much going on. And I think I've had enough coffee. I've had enough coffee. Oh, and you gotta check out the channel. There's new programming happening every day, and starting in July 1st, Monday, July 1st, coming to you on the Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy channel is actual regular programming. I will have something premiering every 4 hours during the day, during the business hours, all week long. 5 days a week, from 4 in the morning till 8 at night, there'll be something popping up on the channel. And you gotta come by and check it out, because there's a lot of fun content that I'm finding from my past that I'm really excited about sharing with you. I found my file of old-time radio show files. So now I just have all of the Dimension X, all of the X-1, just a bucket load of all the old-time radio shows that I used to listen to. So now I can take them, find the good sound ones and dress it up in a video and upload it and share it with you. And then you can experience, if you want to experience it the way that I experienced a lot of old-time radio when I was a kid, go camping, all right? And then put on some of these old-time radio shows at about 8 or 9 at night when, you know, the fire's dying low and people are starting to think about going to bed. And, we're kind of bored, Dad. Camping's no fun at night. And then everybody's asleep right about dusk, right? Instead, put on some old-time radio and get everybody around the campfire and listen to the theater of the mind, an old-time radio drama or comedy or sci-fi adventure. It totally transports you to another world, brings everybody together. They're like, gee, Dad, what's he talking about? I have no fucking clue. That guy's a kook. And I mean, yeah, it's great entertainment. My wife thinks I'm nuts. My daughter's like, boring. Some of my older friends are like, oh yeah, that's cool stuff. Some of my younger friends are like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll check it out, you know. But you gotta check it out. And I'm totally filling up my channel with old-time radio, old-time TV, old-time movies, old-time music. I'm just an old-time guy. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm starting to research the things that really shaped who I became, right? And why I am who I am. Why I am who I am. I have no fucking clue. Eventually we'll figure it out. If not, there'll be enough saved data of me being me that maybe my daughter can figure it out at some point, right? She'll do her PhD doctoral thesis on Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy. What makes him crazy and what cured him? Maybe by the time I'm done with doing this channel, I won't be crazy anymore.
Yeah, that's a joke.
That's a laugh. That's a laugher. That's a laugher.
All right, I think it's time. Oh, there we go. It's time for one of these. Time for one of those. Well, my live stream looks pretty good. I'm back down to 0% with only 122 frames lost through the last about 3 hours since my live pre-show started just about 3 hours ago. That's fucking cool. I have high hopes for getting stuff uploaded quick today. I think after the show, in about 45 minutes, it's going to be food and wind myself down for a nap. Maybe start some things to upload onto YouTube and then go lay down. And then right before I doze off, come in and check to see if I need to re-upload. And then just kind of lay down for a couple of hours, get some rest. Even if I don't sleep, as long as I'm just kind of laying there with my eyes closed, it will really help my productivity. And if I can start something going before I lay down, I'm going to change my microphone and see what I get with a different microphone. Yeah, I want to see what it sounds like. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do some cameras and stuff. You know, I keep saying that, but of course I will eventually. What I really need is another USB hub so I can plug in multiple USB cameras to the one thing and then just kind of shift through them on the computer and then just bring them to you in the camera program, right? It won't be the most ideal way to do a camera shot, but I think it's going to work. And then eventually, if I can key up some graphics around the picture, it'll look neat. It'll look totally neat. Yeah. Anyways, man. What else have I got going on? Nighttime nonsense and nostalgia has become a lot of fun. And I think that at this point, I'm going to start taking requests in the evening. I'm going to put up some kind of request graphics. Please type in your comments what your request is. The only rule is that it has to be from the 1920s or 30s. That's going to be the standard rule of thumb when asking for a song to be played on the nighttime show, is that it has to be from the period that I'm playing from. I want to hear Fruit Loops by the Beatniks. Ain't gonna happen, man. That's like from the 1950s, dude. Commercials. I can try to find you specific commercials from any era before the 90s, right? So my brother asked me for some Toys R Us, and I was able to dig some up. I don't know if he's been back to hear it, but yeah, I found some. If I can't find something, I'm going to have to create stuff, you know. Create some comedy commercials, you know, recreate comedy commercials that I can't use, but I can recreate them and use them. You know. Hey, wow, man. Does that mean he's going to do voices? Oh, shit, man. I think he might. Yeah. I wish he would stop doing them fucking voices. Leave him alone, Harry. He's experimental. Yeah, he's fucking mental, all right. Oh, it's the I think it's the hunger. I have the hungries, right? I'm just starving right now. You know, I used to have a lot of fat and I'd push on it and be all blubbery. Now I push on it and there's not much there but muscle. It's tight. You know, it's either tight because it's going, I'm hungry, or there's something there, but there's not much fat anymore. So my belly button's rubbing a blister against my backbone at this point. And I'm starving here. There's probably nothing to eat either. Kitchen's open, but the pantry's bare. It's not. I just have a hard time trying to find something that I want to eat, right? I have like no appetite lately. You know, last night I was like, oh, I want to eat something. Do I have an Ensure? Can I just drink one of those? No. I would have killed last night for a chocolate milk, right? Just give me a cup of chocolate milk, ice cold chocolate milk, and a couple of vanilla wafers, vanilla, like lady fingers or something, right? That would have been perfect. Instead, I think I had a Jolly Rancher. I'm having a Jolly Rancher trying to quell my sweet tooth, my need for like Twinkies or something. And I'm like, I go in to ask my daughter, you got anything in here to eat? And I'm sucking on a Jolly Rancher. And I go in and she turns around and she's got a Tootsie Pop in her mouth. And I'm like, you too, huh? She's like, yeah, I got a sweet tooth. I need something. I don't know what she came up with. She keeps different hours, so she was probably up eating, you know, her second dinner at about midnight. Totally. She's got like hobbit eating habits, you know. She got like, is this second lunch or third lunch? Yeah. Totally cool. But she eats a little bit all day long. It feeds her metabolism, you know, and it works. She's got a really good metabolism, you know. She wears off calories with her brain, right? Her brain is like a stationary bike, and it just eats up those calories. Holy hell. Yeah, what I wouldn't give for some more coffee right now, and a big fat donut, right? I need the Johnny Law special. That's what I need. A big fat donut and another cup of coffee. Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll have just like a half a bagel or something. Is there any bagels, man? Yeah, maybe a half a bagel and a little cream cheese and a little orange juice or something. Not too much, so then I can go lay down and then get up ready for some lunch, right?
That's probably going to be my best bet.
All right, lava lamp cam. Diddly, 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 diddly. Check that shit out, man. That's far out, man. Groucho looks unamused, to say the least. Totally. Yeah. All right, I'm back. I'm back, man. So, yeah, I'm trying to figure out with my programming changing, how am I going to do the Totally Television Tuesdays, Old Time Radio Wednesdays? How am I going to work that? If I'm doing old time radio every day, you know, is it old time radio hour? You know, old time radio lunch with old time radio, mornings with old time radio. I don't know. Because how am I going to work that, right? How am I going to work that? Am I going to put a thumbnail that says what it is? Am I going to get away from using the old time radio Wednesdays? Probably not. I think on Wednesdays I'm probably going to double up on the old time radio shows. Right? Air 1 at 4, air 1 at 8, air 1 at noon, and then maybe air 1 at 2 in between, or air 2 at noon. Back to back. One gets done and then the next one premieres. Now that's possible because they're half-hour shows, so I could do 12 and 12:30 and do an hour. And then maybe I can do 8 and 8:30 and do an hour. Yeah, that's it. See? Oh, and then I can keep it in the same hour, 8, 8:30, 12, 12:30 on Wednesdays, double it up. Yeah. And then I got to come up with some ideas for TV stuff. I need more TV stuff. A lot of these little short movies and stuff I'm playing were originally broadcast on the television news, CBS News programs, stories for other news programs, eventually things that made it from back to 16 millimeter and then put into schools as educational stuff. I just put one together starring Orson Welles that's about an hour long. That's about the Grand Canyon, right? And it's a weird one, and he's a weird guy, and you can totally tell that he had to stick his big fat nose into all of the production end of it and make sure that it came out making him look very, very full of himself. But it's great, and it's totally Orson Welles, from the wardrobe to his physique, his facial features, his speech, his attitude, everything just screams Orson Welles of the 1980s, right? I will drink no wine before it's time. It's the classic stuff. So I can't wait for that one to. I don't think it's going to premiere for another month or a couple of weeks. I think it's a couple of weeks out. I think it's going to be in next month's programming, along with just a host of other stuff. Duck and Cover is coming. Just very cool content. Documentaries about Stonehenge and filmmaking and electronics and music and graphics and just everything that I was kind of in awe of, or was involved in some way, or affected me in some way back in the 70s and 80s. And that's the whole idea of this era of Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy channel, is to bring you as much of this stuff as I can, to explain me, right? And at some point I'm going to start bringing you more original content from the past. Once I get enough of this stuff programmed out a month in advance, so that I don't have to sit here and create little videos to upload every day. Once I'm a month, which should be in another week, I should have all of July completely programmed and ready to premiere, except for the live stuff. And then I will have time to sit and take my past stuff and create original content from it. Old family videos, family photos, family recordings, audio, all kinds of stuff. And then stuff that I can eventually get from other people, literature and videos and that kind of stuff from the past. Because I'll put it on my channel. You send it to me and I'll put it on my channel. You send me a t-shirt and I'll wear it on my channel. Send me a coffee cup and I'll use it every freaking day. Send me a t-shirt with your face on it and I'll wear it. You know? As long as it's not obscene, I'll wear it, as often as I can. Mix it in. Yeah. So there's that. At some point, I will say, well, if you want to send me something, go to find me on Facebook, find the right me, and find my P.O. box. Right? And that's pretty much, we're going to do it old school. You want to send something, a donation of some kind, you're going to send it to my P.O. box so that we have a actual physical connection and not this digital fakery that's going on in the world, right? My friend Milo commented on Facebook the other day how old people are getting phased out of driving because they don't have the ability to get online to do the online renewal stuff, right? So therefore, they just kind of go without a license or stop driving altogether because they can't compete. They don't have internet access. They don't know how to use these things. They don't have the money to deal with having these services. They don't know how to use a fucking app, And I'm like, yeah, true that, man. That's like the story of so many people right now, is they're getting phased out because they don't know how to use the technology. I was starting to get phased out myself, and if it wasn't for my daughter keeping up with technology and my wife keeping up with the need for technology, I would be out of it. I'd still be using a laptop with Windows 10, right? Well, actually, I am. Bye, honey. Have a good day. Love you. Be careful. Drive safe. Call me. We'll do lunch. Say hi to the guys. Leave the dogs out. Yeah. And there's that. That's how we do that in the morning. She's going to be taking off, doing her Wednesday thing. And this is the day where my daughter is going to sleep until at least noon or 2 because she's been up late. And I've only had about 5 hours sleep with the getting up 3 times. So this is my perfect opportunity to set things up here, to do work while I'm sleeping, grab something to eat, and then go lay down for a couple of hours. Watch a little TV, watch a little Love Boat, and then put on a sleeping pill movie, right? The latest sleeping pill movie is just about ready to leave Netflix. That's 2010, the year we make contact, with Roy Scheider, right? One of my favorite movies. I love it. And so I put it on, and it's like, I know by this certain point, I should be asleep. If I'm not, here's the next sleep point, and I'm usually out by then. And I put it on, and I wake up, TV's off, movie's over, take a leak, come back, right back to sleep after about 15 minutes. But I think today's schedule, since I didn't get a nap yesterday, I'm going to set things up in here to do some work while I'm gone, and just let things go until they finish, and then wake up and come in, complete the task, and start a new one, right? And then just keep knocking out a bunch of uploads at this point. I need to upload stuff so that I could then take it and put it down onto the hard drive and free up some more desktop hard drive space. right? It's all this technical stuff, but it's just totally cool. We got about a half hour to go, and I'm starting to feel it. It's like every day now is like a telethon, all right? Yeah, I'm in my 3rd hour now. My bladder's about ready to pop, and I'm starving here. I've had 18 cups of coffee. A friend of mine hit me up last night, and he's like, dude, somebody gave me like 70 grams of mushrooms, man. And I'm like, wow, that's cool, man, mushrooms. And he's like, you want some? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm broke. And then he's like, all right, well, let me give you some, right? And because I'm always throwing weed at people if I can. And he's like, well, let me give you some of these capsules for microdosing. And I'm thinking, that sounds cool, but I'd need like a few so I could start a chain of microdosing, right? For like 6 weeks, I would want to do a little bit twice a week for about 6 weeks, and then reprogram my mind for happiness, right? And I've done this before, and it's worked wonders. It led me here. And then I thought, wait a second, I'm in a really good place mentally right now. If I have some kind of spaz attack, I'm able to come out of it really quick and redirect myself to happy land, right? So I'm thinking, I really don't need to do any microdosing right now, right? I'm in a really good place. And so I sent that back. I said, I'm in a really good place right now. I think I'll pass, but don't have too much fun. But, and it's true, for the first time, like in my entire life, I'm in a spot where I feel really good about me, my life, my family, what's going on. Of course, the world sucks, but, in this locale, it's pretty damn cool. And I don't have the need to reprogram my brain to go to a happy place when I freak out. Because I ain't freaking out lately. I mean, lately I freak out, and just before I can completely hit it's over. I'm done. I'm gone. No more freaking out. It all goes away. It's like, what am I worried about? What am I, The only thing that's a bummer in my life is my health. Pain, dental stuff, other health issues. That's the only bummer, But I'm pretty lucky. So I figure I don't need to focus on the bad, even though it's always smacking me in the face. I'll just keep redirecting myself to the good, which always leads me inevitably to my family, my wife and daughter, or YouTube, and making stuff, doing things, exploring the internet for content, dressing it up and bringing it here. It's just a lot of fun, I really dig it. I love it. I really love it. So I've got some stuff to load up for tomorrow, and then the week is done. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 things to load up for next week, and I'm done. And then I'm working on July, right? And July, I've got it programmed. Now I just need to create all of that content, or whatever's left, load it onto Facebook, load it onto YouTube, and hit a premiere date and time. And it's all written right here in my schedule, from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's always something going on, whether it's something live here starting after 4 a.m. or being uploaded, going premiering at 4 a.m., right? And on occasion, I will have something premiering while I'm live. So I'll have 2 live things going on, a live premiere and a live show, which that'll be pretty fucking heavy, man. And I've had that happening where I'm live here, doing a pre-show, and I've got something that started to premiere at 4:15, right? So simultaneous stuff going on. It's like channels within a channel, right? So I don't want to overlap. I'm going to try to avoid overlapping my content when it's premiering and going live. I want to try to spread it out throughout the day. So when you stop by my channel, it's like, oh, look, something's premiering. Oh, look, he's live, right? Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And it's going to take a lot of shoehorning to get it worked out. But I figure if I split it between a couple of old-time radio shows a day, a couple of old movies or TV shows, and then some live stuff, it should be real easy to get all of that programmed in, right? Every month, every 5 days a week, every month, every week, there should be something going on. And then I will fill in the gaps on occasion and preempt stuff for special live events and special premieres, right? Hey, I'm out here at this place and I'm live because it's really cool. Check it out. So that'll be happening on occasion. My programming, weekly programming video that's about 90 seconds long, that's going to change. It's going to reflect the morning show, the morning X-1, the afternoon or the noontime radio program, lunchtime old-time radio. It's going to reflect the time slots and the possible things in those time slots, right? So we'll say when Monday comes up, it'll say, here's what's happening on Monday at 5 a.m., at 4:20, at 5 a.m., at 8 a.m., at 12 p.m., at 4 p.m., at 4:20, at 5, at 8, right? All these things will be happening on a schedule. It'll pop up, and you'll be able to read, this is what's happening, this, and now Tuesday, this. Now, yeah. Every day of the week should have something exciting and different and old, but way new, because we'll be like, whoa, dude, I never seen that before, or something that we just haven't seen since our childhood. Yeah, I'm going to look into the possibility of bringing cartoons and some really good classic television, because I'm not monetizing this. I'm not making money on this. This is not a gimmick to fill my pockets full of gold. This is me sharing my life with you. So if I can share those things and dig up all of those things and bring them to you, I will. I have things in mind, and I have them, and it's like, well, am I going to get away with it? And I'm hesitant to even try to upload it. So I wait. And then at some point, it's going to be like, all right, I got to try to upload this. Is it going to work? Are they going to let me play it? Is it playable in my area? What? And if not, bummer. But if so, let's do it. Since I'm not stealing money from them by making money here, I'm just saying, hey, let's, nobody remembers this shit anyway. Let's check it out. Oh my God, I haven't seen that in like 50, 60 years. Oh my God. No way. Right? Right? So that's kind of where I'm at. Look into my eye. While I can't bring a lot of mainstream movies and television and music, there is a lot of stuff from way in the past that we enjoyed in the 70s and 80s, right? The 70s and 80s were filled with old movies on TV. It's hard to find that anymore unless you're on an old movie channel. You used to be able to go to the average major network, right? And at some point during normal programming, there would be a time slot for old movies, old TV shows, right? I mean, really, really old stuff from the 30s, 40s, 20s. I mean, really old stuff. That's where I found a lot of W.C. Fields and Eddie Cantor and Betty Boop and that kind of shit. Was way back in the 20s and 30s, but watching it for the first time in the 70s and 80s, right? So even though it comes from a different era, it's still of our era because that's when we enjoyed it, was the 70s and 80s. You know, it was new to us. So in that regard, you know, I'm really into finding those old classic horror movies and weird documentaries and educational films and old classic songs. You know, ain't she sweet, about to knock you off your feet. Well, I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Ain't she nice? Look her over once or twice. Well, I ask you very confidentially, ain't she nice? Just cast your eyes in her direction. Oh me, oh my, ain't that perfection? Doodly-doo. Ain't she nice? Alright, that's enough of that. You don't want to hear that crap. Leave him alone, Harry. Totally. Yeah. But, you know, I grew up on listening to that old-timey shit. You know? The stuff that our parents and grandparents were subject to made it into our entertainment vocabulary. You know? And I would be in junior high and high school and stuff and introducing this stuff to my friends, and they're like, yeah, that's the shit my grandparents listened to. And then after a while, they'd be like, yeah, that stuff's not too bad, you know? These old movies, these old songs, these old radio shows, you know? That's fun stuff. These guys are kind of crazy. Yeah, and it totally is. It totally is, man. I dig it. Like I said, back in the 70s when we were homeless, living in a tent up in the Ortega Mountains in a campground, and other various places, living on the beach in a van, living here and there in a tent trailer or whatever. Our major primetime entertainment was the radio. We'd listen to the radio for a little while, listen to some music, and then we put on a few minutes of news, and then segue into CBS Radio Mystery Theater and listen to that. We'll watch it in our heads, but we'd listen to that for an hour, and it would come on at 9 o'clock every weeknight, and that was our entertainment. And I used to love that time, and I used to get pissed off when we didn't get that time, or I would fall asleep before the show was over, because we're in a tent. You know, and it's camping, and when you're camping, you just always go to sleep early. And I used to miss a lot of shows. And now they've got like over 1,000 shows cataloged from the late 60s to the early 80s, I believe, is when the show ran. CBS Radio Mystery Theater. And I'm going to look into the possibility of perhaps bringing those shows over here. But with a collection that big, it's either just poke around and grab a few of the favorites, or like X-1, start from the beginning and do the whole thing. I'm missing one episode, episode 10, and then episode 20 is just a repeat of episode 1 on X-1. So there'll be some little gaps here and there, but they're unintentionally intentional. Right? Like, I don't know how I missed episode 10, Dr. Grimshaw's Sanatorium. I thought, well, maybe I made it and uploaded it, and then it got booted. but I can't even find it in my created video. So I obviously never made it. So I'm going to go back and create that one and upload it as a lost episode. And then I may redo the graphics on the repeated first episode, and then do a repeat episode. This is, episode 20, repeat of episode 1, and this is the episode, and then redo the graphics a little bit. Now that, and then try to keep chronological order in sync, even though they're uploaded different times. At least they'll all be there, right? Yeah, because I'm up to over 20 X-1s now, and over 20 old-time radio shows, and it's just gonna snowball once we get into July, and I'm just constantly feeding this YouTube machine, right? And the biggest thing is I'm not doing it to go after subscribers. Getting subscribers is like a side effect of me being here all the time having fun. I'm just doing my thing, having fun, enjoying the whole creative whirlwind that I'm in, right? So getting subscribers is like an afterthought, a side effect, something that happens because I do something, and it's like, oh, then unintentional reaction is for me to get subscribers, and that's cool. And then I actually get some new friends out of that. And then when I get like surprised with a huge number of subscribers, it's like, okay, now I got to do something to say thank you, right? So I can't wait till the 500 subscriber telethon that's going to happen hopefully by the end of the year, if I can keep this thing going. My subscriber count dropped off and has kind of hit a plateau, right? So that's cool. That'll give me time, to get out of my head and not be so full of, well, look at this, I keep getting like 2 subscribers a day. And I don't need that. I don't need to get a big head. What I need to do is just spend time pulling shit out of my head and throwing it down here, And the more I can come up with regular shared content programming, like normal network television, right? They don't always create. They subcontract. They buy stuff to put on to fill their time slots, right? And so I'm going to do that live, shared content, some little creative content, some live, and just kind of balance it out that way. I want to try to every week bring some kind of new created content, and have a lot of live that's all original, and a whole bunch of shared stuff, because it's so much fun to check out. I can't believe how easy it is to find this stuff and share it. It's just so much fun. So much fun. So much so that it's eaten up so much of my time that I don't have any desire to leave the house to do what I could easily do from right here in the studio, right? I can go out to open mic and just take a phone and set it there and do a live broadcast like that, or just record something and then later on pull some video out of it and make some original content out of it. But I really lately, probably because of my health and that kind of stuff, I really just have had no desire to leave the studio to do anything, right? And especially with going out once a week, 2 or 3 times a month, going to concerts and doing stuff, I get worn down. I'm worn down to the nub at this point. I'm nubbling. So I need to do more here, right? Do more. We actually got out yesterday and drug out the swamp cooler and opened it up. And it's like, okay, I got to go back in and work on YouTube stuff. But I got outside. We started a project. Now today, when my wife gets home, I'll put some stuff on to save and process, and we'll go outside and spend a few minutes to an hour working on something out there, trying to get the swamp cooler up and running, get it cleaned up really, really good and lubricated, and, you know, does it smell good? And then, okay, now let's work on getting it installed, and then take that step, and then just baby steps along. In fact, when she gets home today, we have to get under the mobile home and clean the lint vent on the dryer. One of them there things that has to be done. What's going on, Sam? Does he want to come in too? I don't hear her. She probably passed out on the couch outside.
Ah, that dog. She's so lazy.
He's been out there a while. He's really sucking up that water. Hey, you want a straw? Do you know that horses can use a straw because they put their lips down in the water and they suck the water up? Where dogs lap it up with their tongue, swallow it. Horses. So you could actually teach a horse to use a straw, man. Hi, Sam. How's it going? Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. It's about that time. It's time for us to wrap it up and say, check out what's going on the channel. What do we got loading up today? The videos that are premiering today are X-1 at 8 a.m. At 12 p.m. at noontime, we've got Noontime with Nero Wolf. Noontime lunch with Nero Wolf. And then at 4 p.m. this afternoon, this evening, we have The Sound and the Story, which is about LPs, music, sound coming to us via a household appliance, a console, right? So that's pretty cool. And then this evening, I will be back at the pre-show starts about 4:20, and you can listen to some kind of rebroadcast of one of these old-time radio shows. And then I will start promptly at 5 p.m. with Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia, and we will listen to some old-time radio music and some old commercials. And you'll be surprised at how fast that hour goes by. I always am. I'm always just flabbergasted at how fast time flies when I'm on the radio. It seems to, this 3 hours seems to stretch out for like half a day for me. My God, if you feel the same way, change the channel. But the evening show goes by so quick, right? I'm like, I start the pre-show, and I like walk around the house, and I do stuff for like 45 minutes, and I'm just like bored, and the time just seems to take forever. And then as soon as I sit down, do the opening credits, and play that first song, I'm playing the closing credits, and I'm walking up, getting out, and closing everything down. It happens so quick now. That I don't even feel it. I don't even realize that it's over before it's over, right? It's like, what happened? Was I on? Did I do my show? Did I wrap it up correctly? Sometimes I have to go back and look at my clipboard, right, to see if I actually did the show completely. Yeah, I did. I finished it off, you know. And I figured out that the reason I don't like to do open mic and sing is because of my memory, right? Whether it's from years of smoking marijuana, probably, whether it was taking a dive out of a tree when I was about 8 years old and landing on my head and splitting my head wide open and having the rest of my life different from then on, mentally and emotionally. Whatever the issue is, my memory's not so good, all right? So I don't like to go to open mic because I get up there and I can't pull any words into my... I mean, it's other people like, yeah, I got to remember the first word and then I'm okay. I can't even do that. I can't even remember the first word. I can't get started. Once I remember the first word, okay, what's the second word? I have to have lyrics open out in front of me. And so it's like, it wasn't fun. It was a big ordeal to get up there and put up the lyrics and sit there, and then hopefully I wasn't going to screw up, and I had to keep reading the whole time or I would screw up. And doing the nightly show has started to help me with my memory, right? I'm starting to remember the different artists that I play. I'm starting to remember songs, who plays what I'm starting to remember the years. And I'm starting to remember lyrics especially. So if I can use that to help stimulate the old, the rememberator and the cogitator, then, why not? Yeah. So I am going to sign off, and I will see you back here. Well, I will be here futzing around for about 40 minutes to an hour before I show up and start playing music for you. But be sure to come back at somewhere around 5 p.m. this evening and join me for my holy hell! Join me for the nighttime nonsense and nostalgia show, baby. Check, check. 1, 2. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Love you. Be nice. Be kind. Take care of each other, and I'll see you tonight. Stay weird.